conceive, believe, achieve. Shut the up.
You're listening to Believe You Me with Michael the Count Bisping and Paul Felder.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. If the appearance looks a little different, it's because I'm having my computer decided to just pack it in. I don't know what's wrong with it. It's exploded. It's gone. The motherboard is cut. Okay, simple as that. So I'm on the laptop and the light is a little off. But other than that, we got a tremendous show. We got Henry Cejudo. We got Darren Till. We got Sean Brady. Who else? Jan Błachowicz.
Yeah.
We got Paul Felder.
Here I am.
God damn.
Here I am. God, dude. Just back from Seattle as well. Cool city. Very agenda driven. Don't use the wrong pronouns in Seattle. You will get corrected. Eric Nixick went to get a coffee. He was telling me, I don't think I got to tell you this story. And just instinctually, he got the coffee from the person and said, "Oh, thanks, bro." And the guy was like, "I'm not your bro." Right to his face. And Eric's like, I just smiled. He's like, "I've been in enough shit with the media lately. The last thing I needed was to get in more trouble at some coffee shop or something like that." So he's just smiled at the guy, took his coffee and went. Or the person.
I went to get a haircut, he, she, and online they listed all of their pronouns and stuff like that. Everywhere there was a lot of mask wearing. Some establishments you can't go in unless you wear a mask.
Yeah.
But the weather was terrible. It was miserable. There was a lot of feces in the streets. A lot of homeless people.
A massive pile of shit on the street. First night I'm there, I was hanging out with my manager, Brian Butler, and Nixick, walking around, and I was like, holy shit. I was like, that is not a dog. That was a well-fed human. On top, it wasn't even a person that's not eating much. That was somebody that just took a big old dump on the street.
After they've gone for a gigantic night at the Indian.
Yeah, that's exactly what it looked like.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
But the people were great though. I got to be honest. And that crowd,
bro,
that crowd on Saturday night, English people probably don't like when I say this. And again, I look like a ghost for today's episode. I apologize. We always say this, Paul, the crowds in Paris, that's the best one. I remember the first fight in London after the pandemic, the crowd in London there was mind-blowing, and that was the best. But the last 2 years in Paris, there's no comparison. But I got to say, Seattle, Saturday night, they were giving them a run for their money.
Yeah, they were incredible. That was so loud. It was one of those ones where you got to take the headphones off for a little bit just to actually hear it. Because, we get mics picking up what we're getting in our headset. So sometimes it can seem louder, and I had to check. A couple times I took my headset off, and I was like, nope, this is legit. It's even louder when I took my headset off because it obviously wasn't filtered or muffled or altered. It was just crazy.
In the Climate Pledge Arena. even the name of the arena is a little woke.
Yeah. We were talking a lot to our man Theo, who was our driver for the weekend, taking us to and from the show and stuff like that. And he's like, yeah, it's nice to have some guys in the car that he could talk to and be a little real with, because you could tell that's one of those places where you really got to walk on eggshells and be careful of every little thing that you say. But again, whatever. It was a great crowd. The fights were unreal. The prelims, I mean, we had seven prelims, 7 finishes. Can't beat that.
No. The prelims were unbelievable. I mean, a finish in every single fight and some ridiculously nasty finishes. I mean, that knockout that Ricky Simon got, oh my God, nailed it. Now, typically we would talk a little bit, but because of my technical difficulties, because of my bloody computer being as useful as Henry Cejudo's right eyeball right now, okay, we don't have too much time to digest. So we'll get to that in a minute because Jan Błachowicz is jumping on. Henry Cejudo's joining us at the end of the show. So I guess because I want to talk about those prelims and Ricky Simon's knockout and some of the other ones. Iwan Kutalaba versus Ibo Aslan. What an absolute war that was.
Yeah. Just the knockouts that were on throughout that night, man. And Ibo, I didn't see it going down like that, man. I mean, what we were talking about the odds on Kutalaba finishing by submission. But, his last 2 fights, he's really shown a versatility to his game. He's shown that he's still improving at this point. And, he got cracked with some shots. He didn't back up for anything. Once he got that fight to the ground, secured that submission. And, dude, that's a huge win for him because Ebo's been surging. He's been looking great, knocking everybody out. Hasn't had a loss since early on in his career and avenged that loss in the UFC. So it's just.
Do you know what was cool about Seattle as well is that when we walked in, we got like a hero's welcome as we walked in. The fights hadn't even started. The crowd was so excited. It's the first time since 2013 they were in Seattle, and they were there early. You know what it's like in Vegas? They rock up just before the co-main event. They're so spoiled that they don't really give a shit. These guys, they were ready. They were well-oiled. Some of them have been on the booze since 10 o'clock in the morning because they were making some goddamn noise, adding to the atmosphere. Just an incredible night. But let's quickly, before Jan joins us, let's talk about this main event and the scenario there with Henry Cejudo. We're going to get his obviously his side of things and how he's doing now and an update from him a bit later in the show. We can talk about the fight all day long. I thought Henry was looking good. He was looking really explosive. He was doing some damage. I thought Song Yadong also looked really good. The narrative of the fight seemed to be that Henry was getting a little tired, but that's okay. Doesn't mean you can't still win. Doesn't mean he wasn't still trying, but I think he was getting tired, and that's fair to say. There was a kick in the balls. I think there was an EyePoke before. Yeah. There was a stern warning from Jason Herzog. Then there was a bad EyePoke, a double EyePoke. And I'll just set the table and I'll throw it over to you, Paul, because we talked about this at dinner afterwards, getting a delicious steak. And if he'd have stopped the fight right there, if he said he couldn't have continued, the fight would have gone, it would have been a no contest.
No contest, yeah.
If you complete 2 rounds in a 3-round fight, they'll go to the judges. If you complete 3 rounds in a 5-round fight, they'll go to the judges. Before that, they'll make it a no contest. But obviously in that high pressure situation, he's dealing with an eye injury and stuff like that. You're not thinking those things through. There was also a narrative that I was talking about, and I thought he was. I thought maybe he's being a veteran. He's taking the full 5 minutes because he was slowing down a touch because he's 38 years old. And I thought, and we were even saying, hey, fair play. Take advantage of it. It wasn't, Henry didn't double EyePoke somebody in the face.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they did the last 60 seconds. He danced away. He said afterwards he couldn't see. Then he calls the referee in. So he calls the doctor in. And he's very, very open that he couldn't see. Paul.
Yeah, I think in hindsight, the best thing for him to do would have been to just really be completely honest right then and there in that 3rd round and got it stopped in the 3rd round before the round was completed, because them starting him back up is what ultimately led to that round finishing and then starting the 4th round, which turns out there was a whole bunch of controversy too and confusion on the rules for it to go to a judge's scorecard. A lot of people thought that it had to at least start the 4th round, even if it's end it right then and there, and they can call it a draw and go to the judge's scorecard. But anyway, I think if he had just stopped in the 3rd, it would have been no contest, and it would have been better for Cejudo, at least. Obviously not better for Song Yadong, because then he doesn't get the unanimous decision. It really sucks for both guys, because I still think there was a lot more fight left, especially if Cejudo was better after he took the full 5 minutes. Like you said, he was starting to be a little bit maybe feeling the fight so far, but if he had a 5-minute refresher and could see, would have been a different story. But in hindsight, I also think a little bit of that goes on the commission and the doctors and the ref. Like, you guys knew pretty much, he said multiple times, I cannot see. And we know there's one rule in fighting. If you want that fight to get stopped, all you got to do is say, I can't see. As soon as they hear you say, I can't see. And for some reason in this circumstance, I think they have so much respect for Henry and they want him to be able to continue that they didn't stop the fight. But I think that's kind of what he wanted because of how bad his eye was. And obviously we'll get to talk to him and know more, but it's unfortunate, man.
And what I'm going to do in a second, because we're joined by the former champion, the one and only Jan Błachowicz, we're going to throw it to the panel and we're going to have a discussion as to whether or not, do we think he was looking for a way out? But never mind that. Jan Błachowicz, how are you, brother?
Hello, I'm good. Thank you. All good.
Good to
Ready
see
to
Mr.
go.
Polish Power. Let's
Legendary
go.
Polish Power.
Man, the legendary himself. Let's go. How you been?
I'm good. Thank you. 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 I'm happy. Finally, I'm going back to home, inside the octagon. I am excited. Cannot wait. Almost 2 years break, and now I'm going back.
Yeah, Jan, how's it been in the layoff, and how soon were you ready? What's that? Boring?
Boring. I cannot punch anybody in the face, in legal way.
Jan, I know you must have been keeping yourself pretty occupied, though, because I've heard some stories of some of the epic hiking and trail running and mountain biking and stuff you're doing. You still doing a lot of that stuff? And if so, what's the craziest thing you got into while we haven't seen you inside the octagon?
And
I think I'm climbing with the,
the craziest. We want the craziest.
Craziest? I don't know what was the craziest, but I think that without any knowledge, I go to the, very dangerous mountain with my friend. When we go just climbing with the equipment, with everything, but one mistake and we're gonna die,
Oh, shit. Well,
and that was like, I don't know, 2 months before fight.
Why have you been away for 2 years? Was it an injury?
Sorry?
Why have you had 2 years away? I'm assuming you were injured.
Yeah, surgery, because of the surgery. One shoulder, second shoulder, the sore shoulder. And, I have couple surgery in my life, but that was the hardest one, The recovery was very tough and long, and I didn't expect that, I need more time than I think so. That's why it was so long break,
Well, in the 2 years that you've been away, a lot has happened in the light heavyweight division. Obviously, Alex Pereira is now dominating, defended the belt 3 times last year. He's one of the biggest stars in the sport. You shared the octagon with him. What do you make of the division right now?
Division is, is good. A lot of things happen over there without me. So I'm a little bit jealous because, they can fight me not, but now I'm back. Pereira is, big star right now. He's in great, in his great way in his career. But, he do a great job, over there. A lot of experience he catch in these fights, but, I'm ready to beat him again. But first of all, I need to beat Ulberg. So I focus about him.
And Jan, speaking of that fight, obviously this is a young guy making his way up and making some noise as he does it. What do you think about this matchup itself? And what dangers does he present to you? And how do you think the fight's going to play out over in London? And how excited
think there's going to be, stand-up fight. He's kickboxer. I like to fight in stand-up, but it's MMA. If I can, take him down, I will do. I'm going to do it. It's normal. But I'm ready for kickboxing match. He's younger than me. Little bit faster for sure, so that's gonna be in his way. But I've got bigger experience than he's got. I need to watch out on his, left hand because he got very good left hand. He is very good on his feet. But I think the first round will be for him. But after first round, I think that I'm gonna start, take control inside the octagon. In the third round will be finish. Take KO or KO. This is what I see in my head.
Given that Alex Pereira has gone through, most of the division now, and he's actually doing rematches with people, do you think that if you beat Carlos Ulberg, and given the fact that you've got history with Pereira, you think you get through Ulberg, you do it in devastating fashion? Do you think that puts you right back at the top of the sport?
I believe in that, but, I'm focused only about match and about Ulberg. I don't think what's going to happen later. But if I'm going to win, and I believe that, then I'm going to win. So for sure, next fight will be for the title. But, we've got Pereira against Ankalaev. So we will see who's going to be champion. I've got good story with Pereira and also with Ankalaev. So I'm going to use it. I'm going to use this story. And I hope so. If I beat Ulberg, my next fight will be for the title. But, I'm focused only about March 22 right now.
And what do you think about that matchup, Jan? Who do you think takes it between those?
We will see. Guys? I don't know. I'm 50-50, but with a little bit on Pereira's side.
Jan, you've been in there with both of them. Come on. You're a big, strong guy. You got the legendary Polish power. You have an opinion to give. Give us the opinion. Don't bullshit us, Jan. Who wins the fight?
So if Ankalaev will be fight like Rakic, right? In the fight with Pereira, he gonna lose. He need to do something more. He need to use his wrestling skills to make like tired Pereira, make tired his hands, and then he can start fighting in stand-up. If he will fight in stand-up only like kickboxer, he gonna lose the fight. This is my opinion, you know. If he not gonna use his wrestling skill, he gonna do nothing, you know.
Do you think he
and
will?
Also, he need to change a little bit. He need to be more aggressive, you know. He had to believe in his skills, not like with Rakic. With Rakic, it was a very boring fight, you know. I almost go to sleep, you know, without punches. So he need to do a little bit more. And Pereira, he have to do what he do all the time, you know. Good timing, good power punches, and that's it. Be careful on wrestling.
Yeah, but do you think he's willing to go out there and actually use his wrestling? Do you think he's got an ego about things that he's?
I think this is his like psychology game right now. You know, he gonna say that he gonna fight in stand-up, but if he gonna just catch him, he try to take him down.
What is it like taking a clean shot to the face of Alex Pereira? Because people talk about, you know, this one punch, the touch of death that he has. But you went in there, you've been to a decision. Does it feel any different from other punches that you've taken?
You know, I've got in my gym, I've got one sparring partner. He's like, now he fight in MMA, but he was like a boxing, you know, fighter before. And I never fight against someone with this power punch like he got. This is my sparring partner. So I always do like 3 boxing rounds with him before my fights, and then I know that nobody hit me stronger than he. So I don't care about, you know, power of Pereira or Ankalaev or nobody else, you know, because I feel much more power in the sparring.
When you see Alex Pereira flying around the world, and I'm sorry to keep asking you about Alex because I know you focused on Olberg, but I know you guys had a really close fight. Salt Lake City had a lot of elevation. He's now a megastar. And he's making millions and millions of dollars per fight. And that's what we all want. When you see that and you're on the sidelines and it's been 2 years, does a little part of you get a little
bit, yes, but I don't think about this because I don't waste my energy for that, you know. So I've got my ego also, and I'm a little bit jealous because this should be my place, you know. I should be there, but I don't think like this about him. He got his story, I've got my story, and you know, and that's it. You know, I like Pereira. I don't have bad blood with him, so I wish him best. And I believe that we meet, you know, someday inside the octagon again, and I'm gonna have chance to beat him. You know, and that's it. But no bad blood. I wish him best, and that's it. You know.
Jan, let me ask you this: since you fought both those guys, right, and you may have opinions on who you think would win, but is there one of those guys that you'd prefer to have be the champion so that you could try to work yourself back up for that?
If I would like to choose, I would like to choose that Pereira is still the champion and I have, you know, chance to take rematch against him.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, that's obviously the bigger star of the two of them, right? And that's ultimately what we want, right? To fight the biggest, baddest guy, and also more attention means more money and all kinds of accolades coming your way.
Yeah, you know, everything is in, and it's easier to find a sparring partner like Pereira in my area.
Yeah. No, it is. I mean, Europe's full of strikers and kickboxers and stuff like that. You've fought most of the biggest names. Excuse me. Fought most of the big names at 205. You know, there's some new blood come through now. There's Khalil Roundtree. I don't think you fought him, but most of the guys there, you've been in there, you've beaten them, you've knocked out some legendary names. How old are you now, Jan?
42 today.
It's your birthday.
Yes.
It's your birthday. Whoa.
Thank you.
It's your birthday and you choose to come on the podcast. Thank you so much. My computer just up, by the way. That's why I look weird.
Pleasure for me, you know.
Oh, happy birthday. 42. Unbelievable.
42.
What did you do today?
Oh, yeah. I'm in the mountain part of Poland. I always do like my training camp is always in the part of where is mountains. I always do like 1 week here to do great cardio, you know.
Yep.
And train with the mountains guy. So yeah, we are. In the morning I was in the mountains. In the evening I was. I have like drills in the gym. And after interview I'm going to the restaurant, eat something good. Maybe I will drink my one small beer and go to sleep. I will celebrate my birthday, after the fight.
Hell yeah, dude. You celebrated in London. You can have as many beers as you want there, buddy.
I know. I'm waiting for that. Sorry?
Have you fought in London before? I'm sure.
Yes, I have a fight against Jimmy Manua over there.
Okay. Yeah,
8 years ago, something like this.
Yeah, I was going to say, when you get to London, because of your birthday, because of training camp, because of training all year and sacrificing, you go out there, you get a big win over Carlos Solberg. You got to take us out because me and Paul are going to be there. We're commentating.
So you're going to take me somewhere over there. You're going to show me London by night.
We're taking you, buddy.
100%.
Here's on us.
Yeah. So
unless you get the bonus.
Okay, let's go. We're going to do some party.
Now, the only problem with that is that people will say that we're being biased in our commentary. If we organize a big Jan Błachowicz after party, which I'm more than happy to do, people are going to be like, these biased assholes, they just want Jan to win and hit the club.
Yeah, and we'll say, yeah.
Doesn't matter. We go. We're going to go. We're going to go for sure.
Yeah,
I like this.
When you look at Carlos Solberg, he seems like a great guy. I'm assuming you guys have no issues or anything like that. Tall, long, really, really, really good striker. Were you happy with the matchup?
I'm very happy with the matchup. 7 wins in the row. So I like him. I like his style. Like a person and everything. But I don't care. It's time to stop him. So I'm happy that I'm coming back, and I'm happy that I can beat this guy who's gonna stop him in his, win strike. So yeah, let's go. It's like I don't need like extra motivation, but this is something what I feel in this fight.
Yeah, and did you watch the fight on Saturday night with Henry Cejudo?
No, I'm not watching the fights. Now I'm focused about my fight and sleep. When I've got time to sleep, I go to sleep and recover,
Okay, yeah. I was going to ask you your opinion. There was an EyePoke and Henry could have...
Yeah, I read something over there about this EyePoke, but I don't have my opinion because I don't see whole situation, don't see whole fight, so I cannot...
Yeah, well, the reality is in those kind of situations, nobody knows.
It's happened, it's happened.
Have you taken a bad EyePoke in your career?
In the fight, yeah, but not so bad. I can just go and fight. But not like this, But I remember in the gym, I have something like this. So like was 20 minutes, I cannot see on my left eye, Yeah. After 20 minutes, I start to see. So sometimes it's very bad.
So I'm going to explain to Paul that Jan, we're going to let you go in a second because you got to go celebrate your birthday. Good luck with training camp. Thank you for your time. Jan has got quite the good singing voice. He likes to sing some Polish folk songs. I apologize again. The former champ and I look like shit. Jan, do you have a song to go into battle that you can perform for us tonight?
I can sing like, it's not like for the battle, but it's that everybody can sing.
Okay.
But in Polish.
Please.
Śpiewać każdy może trochę lepiej lub trochę gorzej, ale nie o to chodzi, jak co komu wychodzi. Czasami człowiek musi inaczej się udusi. Lubię piosenki, inne różne dźwięki, szczególnie jak wie co wzruszy, rzuca mnie się na uszy. Teraz będę już szczery, wybrałem drogę kariery na estradzie, na pewno sobie poradzę. I don't remember the rest.
Dziękuję. Oh, shit. Jan, you are the man. It's great to have you back.
After, a couple of beers, I'm a better singer.
Hey, I want to learn that song in London.
I will learn you in London.
Yeah.
What
is that song roughly about? What's it singing about?
Everybody can sing. Doesn't matter if you are a good singer or bad. You can just sing,
Well, that's
and don't care.
So you got balls, man, because I'll sing in the car, but I wouldn't come on a song podcast and sing. But you got quite a good voice on the sly.
Thank you. Maybe, after a UFC career, who knows?
Hey, there you go. Dricus du Plessis went on The Masked Singer. You know what that is?
Yeah.
Was he really?
Yeah. You didn't know that, Paul?
No.
Yeah, he was on The Masked Singer in South Africa. Do they have that in Poland?
What?
The Masked Singer.
Masked Singer. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know what is it.
It's a TV show. My dad.
TV show. So maybe we've got it, but I don't watch too much TV, so I don't know.
Me neither. My dad.
I won, 1 year ago. I won one TV show because I don't have something to do, so I won like Asia Express. You know what is it?
No.
It's like they send us to Philippines and Taiwan. First of all, we was in Philippines. And if you are longer in this competition, you go to Taiwan. So you take your one friend. That was like 12 couples, 12 team, 2 person in watch team, $1 in the day, no phones, and you need to just and then was like a race. You need to ask people for the help, take stuff.
Yeah.
After 1 day it was off, you need to find a place to sleep. There was crazy show, but very nice.
I want to do that.
It was amazing show, and I won with my friend.
Let's go.
Did you? Damn.
So now I'm also triple champ right now because I am the KSW champ. I was UFC champion, and now I'm Asia Express champion.
No. You're the quadruple champ because you're the Believe You Me podcast singing competition 2025 winner of the year.
Okay, let's go.
Thank you so much for your time, Jan. We'll let you go. Always a pleasure talking to you, brother.
Thank you. Pleasure for me. All best.
Man. Take care,
Bye.
buddy. He's the best. See you, Jan. All right, this episode is sponsored by Orgain, and Orgain believes real nutrition has the power to make a real difference in people's lives. Orgain's new 30-gram complete protein shake offers protein-packed real nutrition designed to satisfy your cravings without any added sugar. See, that's the thing. When you go online and order some protein, you got to be careful because there's a lot of crap in a lot of these protein powders. Orgain, they are an excellent source of premium ultra-filtered protein with 9 essential amino acids. Orgain's products are handcrafted with high-quality ingredients that taste absolutely delicious. If you're really busy, that's why Orgain is so great. Just grab one out of the fridge, jump in the car, and off you pop. You don't even have to get out your mixer. If you live a busy lifestyle, Orgain is awesome. You just open the fridge, grab it out of the fridge, and off you pop. You're in the car, you're driving down the street, you're listening to your favorite music, and you're drinking. I'm telling you, a delicious protein shake that is actually good for you and gives you everything that you need. And by the way, Orgain does other stuff from protein powders to bars to shakes to tons of other nutritional products. Orgain has products that the whole family will love. So there is no quick fixes when it comes to your health. If you want more protein, give Orgain 30-gram protein shakes a try. Head to Orgain.com/believe. Use the code BELIEVE for 30% off the order. That is the best offer that you're going to find, but you have to use the code BELIEVE for 30% off. One last time, for 30% off, head to Orgain.com/believe, use the code BELIEVE, and you can open your world to 30 grams of high quality protein without any extra added sugar that tastes like a dream. I feel so bad. We got a former champ. We got all these guests on. I literally look like Casper the Friendly Ghost. Last time I'm going to mention it though, people. Harrington, Brian, jump on, because here's the question that I want to know. And let's be honest, we've got Henry Cejudo joining us later. Give me your opinions. What do you think? Do you think Henry was bitching out? Or do you think, because that's what everybody online is saying, right? The majority of people. I'll just give you some information real quick. There's a video that I sent to you guys for Brian to play maybe, or maybe Henry can talk about it. I saw him backstage. He was speaking to the doctors. He went off to the hospital, You wouldn't do that unless you were actually hurt. But give me your honest opinion, Brandon Harrington and Paul, of course. At that time, what did you think?
Well, I think that the fight wasn't going his way, and it was just a convenience for him that he got eye-poked like that. I think he was... It seemed to me that Henry was fading, and he knew that the fight wasn't going to end in his favor. That's why he was asking about how much time there was, and he was looking for, maybe he forgot like the rules on like how much time needed to be passed before it was a draw over a decision to the cards. You know what I mean? So I just think, yes, he probably still wanted to fight, but I think it was a convenience for him. All right, Harrington.
So I think he knows the rules better than just about anyone, right? Like if I'm gonna put it on, any fighter who's still active right now to know every single word of the rule book, I think Henry Cejudo's in my top 3 people I'm listing. I think he knew he had all 5 minutes. I think he wanted to take all 5 minutes because he didn't want it to be a no contest, right? Like that's not a good look for you. People still getting Belal's ass over the no contest against Leon Edwards, right? Like, that's not something that he wanted. He wanted to be able to get back to his corner, see if he could survive for like a minute or so. Like, he did what he was supposed to do, right? Like, he went out there, he was, active. He was avoiding shots while apparently not being able to see, got back to his stool and was like, God, I can't do this, but at least this is a real fight that I'm giving people. I gave a shot.
The question is here, like, the referee or the doctors should have stepped in and said, right, stop the fight. It's not, because Henry's a fighter and fighters need protecting from themselves. So he waited 5 minutes and I thought he was playing the game, and I thought, fair play, that's a veteran move. When I've got 5 minutes and I'm getting a little bit tired, take the 5 minutes. But then when he continued fighting, he still couldn't see, right? And I'm not kissing his ass because he's joining the show later. Like, we just heard it from Jan Błachowicz. Have you ever been poked in the eye badly, Paul?
Not like that. No, thank God.
Yeah.
Knock on wood.
No.
Yeah.
Because then when the fight started and he was just backing up, because I thought he's got 60 seconds here. He's had 5 minutes. He's going to explode like a wild man. But he did the exact opposite. So I think people have been very, very critical when they don't need to be, to think that this guy who's a former 2-weight division champion, one of the best competitors in the world, and again, I understand it, but I'm inclined to believe him.
Yeah, I was talking to these guys when we were getting things set up still, and at first, I'll be honest, at first I thought, okay, he's looking for his way out. He's taking as much time to see how it goes, but then he didn't want to be there, and that's why he kept saying, I can't see. And then when you see what was going on with the eye and how bad it really was, then I started thinking, holy shit, I think he was actually really freaked out. And I think that's why he was being a bit spazzy in the corner and being, you saw his energy kind of change. He got real wide-eyed, couldn't figure things out. And I think then he realized, I literally can't see. And it should have been stopped. I think it should have been stopped the first time he said, I cannot see.
Well, that's where people will start talking shit. And again, got to give both sides. People were saying to me backstage afterwards, they've never seen anybody, or back at the hotel, they were like, I've never seen a fighter in my life go, I can't see, get the doctor, which makes it seem like he wants the fight to be stopped. But he's just, you know what I'm saying? So there's two sides to it. That's why I wanted to get Henry on today, because
I think it's going to be great to talk to him, because hearing him personally, but I'm telling you, like, when you see the eye,
you see the damage.
So nasty. After we saw this, I changed my mind a little.
Press play on this.
I has gone through. I feel like
you're still seeing it?
I'm still seeing double, and I'm still seeing like blurriness. So hopefully it goes away, but
that'll do, Bryce. Thanks, buddy.
Like, he doesn't even look happy. He still looks a little bit out of it and trying to process it there,
So,
man,
two things, and I am not trying to shit on Jason Herzog, because Jason Herzog, and we always say this, and I'm getting sick of having to preface that, so I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm not talking shit, but the referees have a hard job to do. Should have taken a point off Song Yadong. Simple as that. Going forward, I want to see much, much harsher consequences for EyePokes. Jim Miller, by the way, excuse me, just finished the last part of my protein shake. Rebecca's putting raw eggs in the protein shakes these days as well. We've got full Rocky in this house. We've gone carnivore diet. That's it. I was telling you, she's not even eating asparagus or letting me have vegetables. Full carnivore. Anyway.
I had lots of vegetables today.
Oh, well, you're going to be farting your ass off. And lean.
Nobody's in here with me. Nobody's in here with me.
I can't smell it. Just don't do it on a plane. What was I saying? But, got to take a point off. Simple as that. Jim Miller. Jim Miller had this video. And Jim Miller was talking about the gloves. He said, it's not the gloves. It's not the old gloves. It's not the new gloves. It's like, it's the attitude of the fighters. Because as soon as that round started with the final minute left, Song Yadong's fingers were like that again. Yeah. And it's like, what are you doing? Make a fist. Simple as that.
That pissed me off. That pissed me off. And if the point wasn't taken, and I had a conversation with somebody afterwards, maybe it was Zach or Lappy or somebody, but when the fight was done, or when it continued and he came out like that, I was like, that's it. that I would have stopped it right there, and I would have taken the point. If I agree, the point should have been taken anyway, and I agree with you as well that the only way we're going to get guys to start to be more responsible with not sticking their fingers out is to take points immediately. The first eye poke, the warning is in the back. Guys, keep your fingers tucked in a fist or put them straight out. And even that is risky. Just make a fist. You're in there fighting. You don't need to reach out with the palm of your hand. You can do that with your fist, or you can just be more defensively sound with your boxing. You don't need to be putting straight fingers out, because then, I was just sparring a little bit today. If somebody's doing that to me, it makes me reluctant to want to bob and weave and try to close the distance or shoot a takedown if I know you're doing this with your fingers, because then it's going to, you're at risk of running right into them and getting poked in the eye.
Well, Herzog said, because he needed him in the balls, and I think there was an eye poke as well. And he said, listen, any more fouls, we're going to take a point or something like that. I remember when there's a double eye poke, the reason being that that's so important is because it went to the judges' scorecards. And if a point was deducted, it would have been a draw. It would have been a draw. And it sounds like I'm sticking up for Henry. I'm not. I just, Henry even said to me on the microphone, he made a little joke about the eye stuff and apologized. I'm like, bro, I don't care. That was a very, very long time ago. I'm not sensitive, but I do know how bad it is. And I do know about the double vision. I had that for a long time until this eye just decided to stop working. And then the double vision went away, So, we got so much to talk about, though. We'll speak to Henry on that later. There was a big shake-up last week. We've got Sean Brady, we've still got Darren Till, and we've got Cejudo joining as well. All right, this episode is sponsored by Rocket Money. And if you are like me, you are going to love Rocket Money, because you know what it's like in this modern day and age. You go to the App Store, you download something, you see an online subscription, you think, oh, I can use that. I'll sign up to this. You use it once, and then you forget all about it. But guess what? The money keeps still going out of your account every single month. And guess what? Trying to cancel them is very difficult, very problematic, and very time consuming. I have just learned that 85% of people have at least one paid subscription going unused every month. And thanks to Rocket Money, you can now see all your subscriptions in one easy place, and you can cancel anytime at just a push of a button. So you are going to love Rocket Money. If this sounds like something you need help with, trust me, you want to sign up to Rocket Money today. As I say, you can see all of your subscriptions in one place, and you know exactly where your money is going. For the ones that you don't want, Rocket Money helps you cancel them. Rocket Money's dashboard gives you a clear view of your expenses across all of your accounts. It's easy to create a personalized budget with custom categories that help you keep your spending on track. You can see your monthly spending trends in each category, so you know exactly where your money is going. Get alerts also if bills increase in price, there's unusual spending activity, or if you are close to going over your own personal budget. By the way, they have a new goals feature where it automatically saves you money, so you don't have to think about it. Pay off credit card debt, put away money for a house, or just build your savings. Rocket Money makes it all so easy. And listen to this. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in cancelled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all of the app's premium features. So cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/believe today. That's rocketmoney.com/believe. rocketmoney.com/believe. What should we start with? Is there any other big points on the fight night that we got to get to?
I mean, if we got a little bit of time to talk, I think we got to talk about the crazy Brazilian man that's a buddy of ours, is João Silva, who's out of his goddamn mind. But, dude, and we always kind of make fun of some of these fighters that take forever to walk to the cage. Like, oh, here we go. I'll tell you what. When you
the
fight
Brazilian
like that,
walkout.
I don't care. I don't care, though. João Silva can play an orchestra on the way to the cage and take his time and conduct it himself.
He pretty much had an orchestra playing. That was it. There was no music.
He went through every emotion that the human can go through in the amount of time that it took him to get to that octagon. And I love it. I'm here for it.
He was crying.
Like bawling.
Anger.
Like crying.
He had fear. He had anxiety for a moment, I'm sure.
He plays them all.
Fear of God. Screaming his head off.
He's screaming. Yeah.
You know, then he looked terrified. Then he looked like he wanted to have sex with Bruce Buffer. Wow. He went through every emotion. You know what I mean?
He liked the suit.
He loved the suit. No, it's like he is. I tell you, this guy's incredible. Ever since the Contender, he talked a big game. He's backed it up every step of the way. 4 UFC fights, 4 wins, 4 stoppages. He said to us that week at fighting meetings, "I'm going to knock him out." But that goes without saying. I'm just here to I'm putting on a show, and he did put on a show. My only advice would be: don't change a thing, but don't come out to hymns. That's the only thing. He kind of put the crowd to sleep a little bit. It was like church music. I mean, I get it.
It was very, church-like and thoughtful and emotional. And he went through all of that journey for us. I mean, he went through a 4-act play emotionally by the time he got to cage. But you know what? It might be his process, right? He might think, I'm gonna feel everything that I'm feeling and not shy away, not put on a face. And then when he gets in there, it's like, okay.
And I always say, and everyone does, you got to control your emotions. Control your emotions.
And then he does the complete opposite.
Yeah, but then he fights cool as a cucumber. Yeah. I don't like the high fives every couple of minutes too much, but holy shit, boom, right hand, puts him to sleep, stands over him, didn't want to hit him again. Referee's like, no, hit him.
I know. And
hit him again. Do it. Finish him.
What's his name? Poor
Bagdasarian.
He didn't know where he was. He didn't know where he was when he hit the ground. A lot of times guys are out cold. Obviously, they're not moving, but he was just out enough where he literally looked at the ref too, like, what the fuck's going on? And then got hit a few more times, unfortunately. I think as soon as he landed, that fight could have been over, but his hands went up. I understand why the ref didn't stop it right away because he at least protected himself for a second. But that dude's insane, man.
Yeah, he knew.
He's so good. He hits so hard.
Yeah, and he's got a well-rounded game as well. But as you say, like, Bagdasarian's on the floor. He's just almost been knocked out. John Silva's like, this one's over, and the ref's like, no, more. We need more. I need to see further damage.
If he dies, he dies.
It's what we sign up for. Hit him again. Let's go.
And then he starts throwing the 12-6 elbows at him. I'm like, oh God, we don't need that. We don't need 12-6 elbows.
We don't want a murder on our hands. Jesus, ref, what's going on? Oh dear. Harrington, no doubt you have something obscure from the prelims to bring up before we move on, because there's a lot of MMA news. We've got some great guests, but there was a big move around last week. But what else are we missing, Harrington? All jokes aside, please give it to us.
Couple of things. For after his win, Gene Silva called out Bryce Mitchell. Bryce Mitchell jumped right back at him on Twitter, said there's only one Lord, and it's not you. Bryce also announced this morning he's backing out of his grappling match at Karate Combat to focus on a quote-unquote big fight that he just signed after the weekend. So we'll see.
It's very rare that I look at an image of you, Harrington, and I'm envious of what you look like. Today's the day. I want to look like Harrington. It's words I never thought I would say. My hair is going a bit weird because I was rushing around. It looks like I've been in Seattle for the weekend. That's for damn sure. It's very Cliff-like.
You need a mask on, bro.
Oh, bro, get me.
I don't want to catch that COVID from over here.
The type of mask, something
N95.
Get me an N95. Oh God, Jesus Christ! I don't miss those days. One. Bryce Mitchell and him. That's good.
A couple of things from the prelims. Dana White shared a pretty gruesome photo of Alonzo Menfield's toe, which, earned him $50K for that fight of the night that he had against Julius Walker. And then the last one, the Austin Vanderford incident, got his win in his UFC debut. And then as the ref breaks it up, his opponent rushes him from behind and shoves him.
Yeah. Just stay on a second, Hamilton. We'll talk about that. Go on, Paul.
I just didn't understand that. That really pissed me off. And I like that guy, but you weren't necessarily intelligently defending yourself. Your arm was pinned. You were eating some big shots, but even so, even if you thought that you shouldn't have been stopped and you had more to give, no problem, my man. You can be pissed all you want. You pushed the wrong guy, though. Like, Austin Vanderford only was doing his job in there, and that was ground and pounding and trying to get the finish. You knew he was going to wrestle you. So if you're mad about that, then unfortunately, again, we said this time and time again, then you're in the wrong sport. So if you're upset at the ref for stopping it. What are you upset at Austin? Like, what did he do other than beat you? And you just had a whole round or almost a round and a half to be upset at him and beat him up, and you didn't.
And I'll tell you something as well. As we said, the crowd was like, I was speaking to Austin Vanderford, who's from that kind of area. I don't know, ish. So the crowd was cheering.
Oregon. He's from Oregon area.
Yeah.
Went to school there. Maybe.
He's from Alaska originally.
Yeah, he is from. That's right.
Spent a lot of time in Oregon, so he was getting a lot of support, right? And then the crowd was loud, and then I'm doing an interview, and all I can hear is woo, like the craziest boos ever, and I'm like, what are they booing? I don't get it. Oh, there it is. There's the push. What a prick.
Yeah, flips him up.
I'm sorry.
Double birds for you.
From the gentleman.
You've just had an opportunity to fight. And then afterwards, you go and push.
Hate it.
You push. You push. It's just like, I mean, look at Manel Kape versus Mohammed Makaev in Manchester. They're having to be separated. They've got bloody security everywhere because they're going to go at each other. And then when the referee says fight, they don't go at each other. It's like, you've just had your chance.
I don't get it.
Then after the bell, now you go and push him.
I don't get it. I've never understood it. You're there to fight. You can fight.
You are there to fight. That guy can fight. He can fight. And this guy can fight. Of course, we're joined by Sean Brady. What's going on, Sean? Let me ask you real quick. Before we get into everything else, did you watch the fights on Saturday?
I watched most of them, yes.
Opinion on what went down in the main event?
With the eye poke, it's tough, because he definitely did. He got poked, and you guys know, like, obviously, you lost the eye, so nobody knows how bad. It could be a little scratch. Nobody knows. It's like a ball tap. Like, you could get hit in the balls, and it could look extremely light, but it could be the worst pain to you in your life. So, and I rewatched the fight this morning because we did our podcast, and I didn't watch Saturday night. And I seen everyone saying online that, like, making it seem like it was like a blowout. That fight was pretty close. Like, it was definitely not going Henry's way, but it's not like he was getting his ass whooped. So I don't know. I don't know if he was looking for a way out. He was probably definitely trying to game the system to see if he could get a decision if that point went away from him. But, I don't know. Because I seen people calling him a quitter. I'm like, he's not a quitter. He's definitely not a quitter. And he wasn't getting destroyed. So, I don't know. It's a tough one. Because he posted his eye today, and it looks pretty bad. It looks pretty bad. So, and he got hit in the balls. You get eye poke, like, those things change a fight. If you can't see the person you're trying to fight, you can't fight, So I don't know. I never try to, I don't want to say anything bad about Henry, and I don't think he was looking for a way out. I think that it just kind of went that way.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where you're right. We've seen eye pokes where you can tell a guy's definitely milking it, and you can't ever really know what's internally going on with that person until we see the results afterwards. And we were all saying that before you came on. Once you actually see how bad the damage was, then it's like, okay, maybe changes everyone's opinion on whether he was trying to get out of there or not.
I didn't watch it. As soon as the fight was over, I stopped watching. I heard he was doing like all kinds of crazy antics. Like,
well, he just kept saying, I can't see. He kept like, and you know how it is. As soon as you say you can't see,
it's over. It's over.
Yeah.
It's over. So maybe he really couldn't see. So he's like, if you can't see, like, we've all been there. Everyone tries to tough it out. And then what? You go out there and you get knocked out. So yeah, I don't know. It's a tough spot.
Yeah. And Sean, I know before we even get into all the main event stuff and getting the fight on not super short notice, but relatively short notice, and things get mixed up. New baby in the house as well leading into this one. Yeah. So congratulations from us here.
Yeah.
We could just see her walking around in the back. How does it feel?
Can we get the baby on camera? Can we see it? Is she in the background? We gotta see if your wife or partner doesn't mind. Oh
my goodness.
Boy, what's his name? Oh, a girl. Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
I'm misgendering all over.
They don't look like anything.
They all look the same when they're that small.
What's his name?
Veda. Veda is the name. Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. Congrats.
Thank you, man. Yeah. No, it's so backstory. We had the baby Sunday of the Super Bowl. Go Birds. So
no, that's crazy, dude.
6:15 I'm sorry, 6:12 is when she comes. 18 minutes before kickoff. Kickoff happens. We get out of the hospital on Tuesday. My phone's on Do Not Disturb because I'm getting blown up about the baby. My manager calls and is like, hey, call me back. So I called him and he was like, Leon's out. They want you to fight in London. I was like, okay. I'm sorry. They're like, Jack's out. The Jack's out. We didn't know at that time that he was getting pulled to fight Belal or anything like that. I just thought he was hurt. So I'm like, all right, well, I was walking my dog. I'm like, I have to go home and talk to my wife. I'm like, if she's cool with taking over the duties pretty much for the baby of sleeping for the next 5 weeks at that point, I'm like, I'm in. So yeah, that's kind of, I called you right away. I called all my coaches first, and I kind of had a feeling something like this was going to happen. So I've been doing all my 5 rounds in sparring. I've been doing all my 5 rounds on the bike. And that's kind of, ever since I had the main event with Gilbert anyway, that's kind of how I've been training regardless, you know, because worst comes to worst, if I get a 3-round fight, I just did extra
You're still
work.
in great shape.
I don't care. I don't care anyway. 15 minutes is a short time to do anything. Like, I'm not going to just do 3 rounds of sparring. I'm not just going to do 3 rounds on the bike. So I've been doing the work, getting prepared. And it kind of works out good for me to where it was 5 weeks at the time, 4 weeks now. I don't have time to overtrain. I don't have time to overthink it. Like, it's going to be here and I'm going to be ready. And that's all it is.
So I got to be careful what I say. Otherwise, I'm going to have the UK people coming after me, and we'll reach out to Leon and get Leon on the show. But you train with Belal, right? Belal just went out there, had 5 rounds, took the belt off him. I mean, talk about the perfect training partner. And
no, I fought Belal.
Sorry. I thought you trained with Belal.
No, I used to train with Belal.
Paul used to train with him. I fought him.
You Philly guys all look the same. You kind of do. Look at you both with the beanies.
Well, right now we do. We both have beanies on.
We do.
And you're both going Go Eagles.
My beard's red. But no, I know what you're saying.
Belal's your one loss. My bad.
Yes. But if you go look at that and the way he fought him, that's typically the way I fight. So it's definitely a good roadmap. I'm sure Leon's going to be knowing that. But for him, I took this fight on 5 weeks' notice. He's taking it. He's going from fighting a southpaw, predominantly striker boxer in Jack Della to fighting an orthodox grappler. So things have changed up a lot for him as well. So, yeah, I was calling for this fight a while ago. Like, I'm like, this is the fight I want.
Yeah, you wanted it. You wanted it before it was given to Jack.
Yes, I was on every show saying I wanted it. After my grappling match, I was asking for it. Didn't happen, but in the end, I got what I asked for. So it worked out.
Was there any hesitation on any side from you or from Leon, or was it all smooth sailing?
It took about a week to get done, which like sucked. Because then it's like they called on Tuesday, Wednesday. I told my manager, I'm like, wife's cool with it. I'm in. Like, let's do this. And then for a week, I'm back to, because I was going to be out of the gym for the whole week because my wife just gave birth. So I'm back in the training right away. Like, things are going 100 miles an hour. And then for a week, we don't know what's going on. And I think that was more on the side of, we just thought Jack was hurt. Comes to find out, he's fighting for the belt. So I think there was just things they had to figure out behind the scenes. But yeah, I got the contract last week, and then it was, from my side, there was no hesitation. Like 2 years ago, I am not the guy who would take short notice fights. Like, I'm like, when the opportunity knocks, and especially one like this, when I'm ready for it, like, there's no reason for me to turn it down. You know, like, I'm in shape. I'm ready to go. My weight's always low to where it needs to be. There's no reason for me to say no. This is what we do this for. You know, I'm going to fight the former champion to become a #1 contender in my division. It doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah. And Sean, with that being said, I mean, obviously, what do you rank now? 5 or 6?
5.
So, I mean, you go in there and you fight Leon in his home country. If you go and you get a win in London, you got to imagine you're a fight away, maybe even not, depending on how things work out.
Yeah. And even if it is another fight, like, I'm so happy because the way it was looking, I didn't know if I was going to fight till I went to fight on the Miami card, didn't hear anything. I'm like, I might not fight till May. I might not fight till June. And my wife's she's going to have to go back to work eventually. I'm like, I'm like, this is going to suck. Like, it's going to be another year because the last 3 years, it was just like one fight. I'm like, I want to get this year started off right. And then this opportunity comes. I get to fight the first quarter of the year. Like, I haven't done that in a couple of years. So I'm getting to start the year off like quick. And after I beat Leon, if it's not a title fight, I'll fight again. Like, I don't care. Like, I just want to be active. I want to compete. And the belt will come. All these other things will come along with me just competing and winning.
I got to say, from Leon's perspective, the situation kind of sucks because he goes out there. No, it does, though. Let's be honest, Paul, you know, we were strikers, right? It's awesome when we get to prepare for a striker because we get to do everything we love, you know, whereas it's, hold on a minute, back to the grindstone, back to finding wrestlers, back to working takedown defense and sprawling and underhooks, getting back to our feet.
Get your ass on the wall and start training.
Now, to be fair, what does benefit Leon is that he's been preparing for that his entire life.
For sure.
He's an elite kickboxer.
100%.
That's what everyone does.
Yeah.
Belal, that would have been the training camp, would have been the training camp for Kamaru, would have been the training camp for Colby. Yeah. So it's just kind of rinse and repeat.
Colby sucks, though. Colby sucks.
You think he's done?
So, yeah, he sucks. He looked horrible that fight. But you're right. Kamaru 3 times. Belal, he's been getting ready he fought RDA, but RDA was a 55er, you know. So he's been getting ready for grapplers his whole career. But at the end of the day, this is mixed martial arts. The fight does start on the feet it's not like I get to start in side control. So they get this. We get to start on the feet, and then it's my job to get it to where I want. But no, I like Leon. He's kind of like me. He's he doesn't talk a lot of shit. He's not on social media doing all these things. I respect him. I'm sure he has respect for me. And it's going to be a great fight. I'm looking forward to my second main event. I get to fly across the country and go do it.
Yeah, dude. And we were talking a little bit about it today. You're going to go, like a little over a week beforehand to get adjusted to only 5-hour time difference. So not too bad.
Yeah. What do you, Bisping, if you were me, you're coming from the East Coast, you're 5 hours ahead. How early would you go out there?
Do you know what? To be honest, 5 hours isn't too bad.
No,
I always used to go out somewhere as early as possible. But the problem is, the sooner you go somewhere, and I don't need to tell you, everything changes. You haven't got all the convenience.
Training.
There's different foods. You got to deal with what's available in the restaurants. Obviously, the weather is shite in London. And if you go out at night, you might get stabbed up. So you got to be careful of that. I'm joking. People love London, but it is a real issue these days. I think a week is fine. Yeah, it's only 5 hours.
That's what I'm doing. I made the mistake of when I fought in Abu Dhabi, they were 12 hours. I only went out 10 days early for that. So that was 12 hours. I f***ed up doing that. But this is only 5 hours, 2 more hours than Vegas. There's no elevation. There's none of that. So, and you got to consider all those things. Like Joey Piper's fighting the weekend after me in Mexico City. Like, if I had a fight in Mexico City, I would move somewhere where there's a lot of elevation for a month. Like you have to think about things like that with that. But luckily, not in London. So we're good on that point.
No, flat as a pancake. Is Kristen going, or is she going to stay home and take care of the baby? Obviously, she can't go.
She's going to stay home with the baby. We would have to get the baby a pass. And listen,
it would have been a nightmare.
I'm going to get the best. She's been doing all the sleeping stuff. I'm still getting my. I got 7.5 hours last night. I'm getting 7 to 9 hours every night because she's taking on all the waking up and feeding the baby. It would just be a nightmare. So she's going to stay back, and I wouldn't want her to leave the baby and come out there because then both of our anxieties would be through. So she's. Yeah. She's the most fit. It's her mother. Like, she's going to stay home and take care of the baby. I'm just going to go do my job.
I apologize here, Paul. What's your wife called, Paul?
Christine.
Oh, I'm like,
mine's Kristen.
You're both from Philly. You've got the beanies on. You've got the beards, right? Your wives. You both expect. All right, Paul. You're expecting a child. Do you know what I mean?
A girl and a girl at that.
Kristen. I'm like, what the f- going on right here? Set me up.
He thinks I'm training with Belal. Jesus.
Yeah, I know. My bad. I've been hitting the head a lot. I've had an existential crisis today.
It's all good.
Shit in the bed. That's why I'm on a laptop and stuff, and I look like shit. How long have you two known each other? How close are you?
Oh shit. I mean, Sean was probably still what, 19?
I was fresh out of high school. I was 19. Yeah.
Yeah. When we started training.
I'm
Dude,
30, I'm 32 now, so it's a long time.
years. Mike, you do the math. You're better at quick math than I am, but he was
13 years.
I mean, I witnessed the whole journey from like a young out of high school kid who was still like partying with the friends on occasion and doing that to turning into just a machine. I mean, even back then, the kid was throwing me around and beating me up. I have said that Sean was a potential and future champion from before he was even really a professional fighter at all when he fought for CFFC and some of these companies. He's, you know, the thing that I love about him is the dedication and commitment to being on point all the time is second to none. I really don't think I've met anybody in this sport yet that is as dedicated to training, eating properly, making sure he recovers. What was the HRV today, Sean?
I didn't check it today. Hold
on.
I'll bet it's over 100.
Oh, for sure.
I don't know what the HRV is. What's a HRV?
Your heart rate variability.
Your heart rate.
Just do it. Get out and run. Never mind that shit. Here's what I want to know. Just run. Do it as hard as you can. Pedal on your bike as fast as you can. Swim your triathlons as fast as you can. Hit the bads. Kick the bag. Wrestle your ass off and you'll be good. HRV, my ass. I'm old.
Science, Michael. Sports science. We got to get you into it, Michael.
Yeah, I know. Just go hard. I'm going to shut up now. You two reminisce, because what people want to hear is of some personal stuff. I don't mean personal, private stuff, but like there must have been, all the time you guys have known each other, there must have been like something that went down, a funny story, an anecdote that you guys can share.
Well, I mean, like I've just been, like I've had the pleasure of, I fought my last amateur fight when Paul won his first major title for CFFC. I made my pro debut on the same card where Paul defended his belt and then got signed to the UFC. So we went out, he took me out to Donald Cerrone's ranch for 2 weeks before. So yeah, we've been there, we've done that. We've had gyms where we didn't have lights.
I was just going to bring up the no lights in the basement gym in North Philly.
Yeah, so our gym was in worst part of the city, North Philly, and we had no lights, and it was middle of winter time, so we're all bundled up, and it was in a basement, so the lights would shine in sunlight.
Through the window.
We had to train on the one side of the mat so we could see each other. So we've been through the trenches together for sure.
Yeah, so and I'll never forget the night that I did the spinning hook kick, and you had your pro debut on that card.
Yeah, I won by TKO and like.
Were you at that after party when we were just like hammering bottles of vodka at the one club?
Yeah.
Pat White, me, Will Cox,
Jonathan fought that night. He won the belt. Yeah.
So I mean, we always had a really solid team. Throughout the years, it was always just random other circumstances. So that's why I enjoy going back and just kind of being on the mats with these guys. Like I was in there today. I was just sparring my one buddy, Ryan, the whole time while Sean was getting working in the cage and stuff. But like Marquez and the whole team now, like there's a legit squad with responsible coaches around now. Like if I had that years ago, me and Sean lost coaches because he moved to Boston. And then we were kind of coaching ourselves. And then Jonathan Webb, who had a couple fights in the UFC as well, like took over as our coach, but we never really had structure. And now for a guy like Sean and all the guys at Marquez MMA, it's so good to see that there's structure. There's a commitment to making sure that these guys are the best. And that's why we're seeing like 6-7 guys from this gym basically compete in the UFC.
It's crazy. Like we have guys coming from all over the world to train with us now. We have so many good guys from like Tajikistan, Uzbek, it's crazy. Like they're coming to Philly to train with us. Whereas before it was like me, Paul, Jonathan Webb, Mike. It was like 4 or 5 of us. And if we didn't show up for each other, then you didn't have someone to train with. And like we were coaching each other for a while, but now to see where we're at, it's pretty crazy.
Now you've got the stands from all the stands.
We're getting the stand.
Uzbekistan.
Well, that's how you know, though. That's how you know a gym is starting to get a lot of notoriety because you start to get these guys from these other countries that are dedicated to the sport but want to be here.
You see all
Uzbekistan, Dagestan, Tajikistan. What else have we got?
Kyrgyzstan.
There's Pakistan,
Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan.
Yeah.
The Kazakhs.
There's a lot. There's a lot of stands.
And they are
Who
tough
was the dude?
bastards.
Who was the dude you were working with today, Sean? Was it Igor or
Bushido. He's from Kyrgyzstan. So we have
Kyrgyzstan?
guys.
is he the kickboxer?
He's one of them. Yeah, he's really good. But then we have another kid. His name's Samander. He's 11-0. He fought on Road to UFC, the Asian promotion. The Asian when he was in Asia. He's from Tajikistan. So yeah, he's 11-0. He'll be Nur Sultan. Obviously, just won over the weekend.
Yeah, he was in the gym today. He came in the gym today and got everybody got a little.
After winning that weekend,
like we're becoming we're super close, and we Andre just fought and won. I'm fighting, Pat's fighting, Joey's fighting, so we got all kinds.
Pat's got a good tough fight too. He's fighting Brito. He's fighting Joe Anderson Brito.
And then Joey's fighting Kelvin. He's getting a little bit of what I left of him. So Kelvin,
that shoulder. That's for sure.
Hey, by the way,
I will say this: Kelvin. I've said Kelvin's better at 185 than he is at 170.
I'm gonna say this: Kelvin can kiss my ass. Did you see the video he put out yesterday?
No.
He put a video out talking about Henry's situation at the weekend. Then he goes into me and he starts talking shit about me, about I'm such a biased commentator. And then Uriah Hall is in the comments and he's like, I hate Bisping. And they're going back and forth and stuff. I'm like, get over it. Okay. And by the way,
that's like Marvin Vittori for me. Marvin Vittori hates my guts.
Oh, it's hilarious. Kelvin, kiss my ass, buddy.
What was your
You ain't
take?
gonna knock me out again because I was shouldn't have been there in the first place.
What did you say about the EyePoke, Bisping, real quick? Tell me what you said about it. What did you say about the EyePoke with Henry? What was your take on it? Because I didn't watch afterwards.
No, my take was that Henry was doing well and he was looking good, but he was starting to slow down.
Yeah, for sure.
So then when he had the 5 minutes, he was playing the game and taking the full 5 minutes.
Yep.
Then I kind of readdressed it once the last 60 seconds started and he didn't essentially fight. I'm like, whoa, hold on. Maybe he's really hurt. I thought he was just being a veteran. So there was nothing wild. That's a very fair statement.
Yeah.
There was nothing negative towards Henry. My frustration was with the referee, to be honest. If anything.
Yeah, I know. And I love Jason. He's my dude, but I agree. There was just some weirdness there. I think anytime you say, I can't see.
No more EyePoke.
Gotta stop.
We can't talk about the EyePokes anymore.
Sean, I got one more thing for Sean.
No, please. No, as long as it's not to do with the Henry EyePoke. We've been through it.
I know Sean's very responsible now, and he's very dialed in, and he's got a baby, and he's top 5 in the world.
Data.
But after the fight in London, when you win, are we getting pints or what are we doing, Sean?
I haven't drank.
Because Jan Błachowicz is throwing us a party after he wins. And
believe you me, after party in London with former guests.
I haven't drank a sip of alcohol in almost 2 years.
What?
Well, now's the time to break it.
But if you beat Leon Edwards, number one in the world.
When I beat Leon, I'll drink a pint with you guys.
One pint. I'll even get you a non-alcoholic pint if I have to. You might get kicked out of London. I don't even know if they sell that.
Are you going to be there, Bisping?
Oh, I'm going to be there.
Yeah, we're calling it. It's London. Me, Michael, and John Gooden.
We're drinking. We'll drink some pints afterwards.
And I think Dean is on the desk. Is Dean cornering you?
He's cornering me.
So I'll be on the desk probably pre-show with Dean. Michael will probably be on the desk post-show with Dean.
Yeah.
So there's going to be. Michael's getting his UK card revoked.
Oh,
he's filling up. You're Philadelphia now, baby.
I'm getting my biased UK bias card revoked as well.
He's an American.
I'm all in on the Sean Brady here.
He's an American.
we got to get Leon on to balance this out, though, because on the broadcast, they'll be like, these guys love Sean Brady.
Yeah.
It's easy to love. Easy to love.
Yeah.
All right,
you got to get Michael an Eagles hat. We're getting you an Eagles hat, Michael.
I'll bring him one in London.
There you go.
Please do. I will wear that with pride.
I
shouldn't say this. I'm actually applying for my American citizenship, so I'll be one of you guys. I'm going to be a passport holder. Stars and stripes all day, baby.
Michael, what are the pronouns you're putting on there?
He, him. Fucking one-eyed badass.
One-eyed pirate.
Cyclops. Yeah. That's that'll be your
so March 22nd.
Yep.
Main event.
Yeah.
When the dust settles, give us something here. Give us a viral moment, Sean. What is the plan with Leon Edwards? How does this end?
To be honest, I think everyone thinks I'm just going to go in there and I'm going to wrestle him. Obviously, that's a part of it, but I've been working a lot of I'm always been a super strong, I've always hit hard, but I've really been prioritizing, like, my hands are healthy. Everything's healthy on my body of throwing power, throwing heat. And I'm looking for a finish, whether it's a submission, ground and pound, standing. I'm working on a lot of new tools, adding in some elbows, adding in a lot of good shit. So I'm coming to be vicious and finish Leon in his hometown.
All right. Well, may the best man win.
Let's go.
Let's go. Thanks for your time, Sean.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for hooking this up.
Thanks, Sean. I appreciate it, dude. I'll see you soon.
Talk to you guys later. Yep.
I'll see you Wednesday.
I think we're going to have Darren Till jumping on in just a second as well. We can't even have a conversation around here.
Hey, that's the show today. We got good guests.
We got great guests. We got great energy. Harrington, jump on, buddy. Let's have a look at you, see how good you look. And compare.
I don't even know what I'm going to say to Darren. Darren's so wild. Like, I'm almost nervous when Darren gets on the show.
I've got no one. So, like, I say we should have Darren joining in a minute, but
he should.
He confirmed with me today, but in between text messages, he goes dark. He's worse at communicating than Anthony Smith, and that says a lot. Okay,
he's going to be in his car with no lights on, just like this.
In the McDonald's drive-through.
I'd be disappointed if he's in a studio or in an actual well-lit place. I want. If we're interviewing Darren Till, I want him in a car on his way to do something and being crazy. That's
being chased by the police, or
in a cab somewhere. Scousers,
typically they would be coming home from burgling a house or something like that. I'm telling you, the old what do you call a Scouser in court? Whatever. Who cares? Scousers are known for it. Anyway, Harrington, what have we got?
For gypsy.
Is what do you call a Scouser in a suit? Or whatever. I can't remember. What's the
a defendant?
What do we talk about here? Is it Ilia Topuria moving up to featherweight? Is it? I mean, there was so much breaking news last week.
Yeah, I mean, I think you guys have already talked about Jack Della Maddalena in London. You guys talked about the resulting.
Well, we haven't talked about Jack Della Maddalena versus Belal. I guess we can save that for another time. But fair play to Jack. Great fight for Belal.
We can definitely get Belal on sometime. I'll just hit him up if he ever wants to jump on and talk.
Next week, we had him on before, but with this new fight, we should talk to him. And I know this is a crazy shout, but Thursday night, live BYM podcast in London.
We can definitely do it.
This Thursday.
At time wise, that probably works out well for you guys, right? Because we'd be 5 hours ahead from the East Coast.
I'm talking in a little pub somewhere where like a little crowd can come.
Yeah.
Just got to get Harrington and Brian there.
I was going to get on a plane to Austin on Thursday, but I think I'm going to go to London instead.
No, we're talking about March, Brian. We're not going to be in London.
Yeah, the weekend of the 22nd.
We're saying get the whole crew there live and do it.
Think about it. Anyway, conversation for another time.
Another option for that might be Miami, because that's going to be a pretty big card.
Let's talk about some MMA. We'll talk about that stuff privately. Topuria apparently moved up. Apparently, Diego Lopez said there's going to be no more double champs. I did a whole video on it on my YouTube channel. And then Dana says on Saturday night, no, that's not the case. If there is someone that thinks they can do it and they will defend both belts and be that active, then he's not necessarily against it.
Yeah, and I think that's really the thing. So I think both people are really right. I mean, Dana, I think, is saying in the rare circumstance that there's a mother effer that's really actually willing and able, more importantly, to make those weight classes simultaneously and go back and forth. And he even said, listen, if you're going to do that, you're going to be busy. I think it's easy for a lot of fighters to think they want to do that and are capable of doing that. But man, it's just a lot of wear and tear on the body to jump weight classes, manipulate your body that way, and to stay active. So I still think that the idea is that there will be a lot less willingness to allow this to happen unless you're willing to vacate a title, right? Because it's easy to say, oh, I'm going to be able to do it. But it's like, maybe you even have to sign a contract to prove that. Oh, hey.
Oh my God. 2 minutes late, that's all. I was like, I don't think he's showing. I don't think my old mate, and we are old mates, Darren, he doesn't respond to my messages for a lot. Do you want to hear the email that he gave me? Paul, check this out. I texted him, I said, all right, what's your email? It says, Darren@BispingStopBotheringMe.com. Oh, that was brilliant, Darren. How you doing, mate?
Are you okay, mate? Long time.
Where have you been, you prick?
What?
Where have you been?
Doing me in it, this thing. I don't, it's life after UFC, innit, mate? Just trying to make a coin out here.
Nah, good for you, mate. I know you've been smashing it. You had that one fight where I don't know what happened. It all went out the window. Then you beat Anthony Pretty Boy Taylor. Who are you fighting coming up soon?
Darren Stewart, who's in the UFC.
Darren Stewart.
Yeah.
How's it all working out, mate? You making some money?
Yeah, making money. Just I'm making a transition, the proper transition, innit, Michael? So, I'm proper boxing. I'm not just going there to just wing and swing. I'm a proper boxer. So, fight Darren on the 29th, beat him. Mitchell said they've got big plans for me. I want to, and I do still want to come back to UFC. Don't forget about that, Michael. That hasn't left me mind. Do you know what I mean?
So is that you saying you want to make a return, Darren? You'd like to get back in MMA?
I'm deaf. I've seen the state of the middleweight division. I think I can come back. I'm the only guy who really fucking gave the champ any trouble on the feet. Everyone else sort of gets confused by how shit he is when he's beating them. He wasn't a problem for me. The problem for me was just, a little niggle, and I wasn't strong enough. He was a strong dude. But apart from that, especially now, the way I've improved my boxing skills, I just don't think Zekas could beat me. I stopped them takedown attempts. I do see that opening there for me to go.
I always say this, Darren, and I'm not going to repeat myself, but I always talk about how good you are. And people say, oh, it's just because you're mates. I'm like, no. And you've got a point there on the feet. You definitely landed some great shots. But never mind that. Let's go back a little bit. What was this dickhead Tommy Fury doing? Because you said in the hype, you're going to kick him in the head. And then he cancels the fight. Come on, give it to us, Darren. What went down there?
No, so obviously I was meant to be fighting Tommy. And the gym I've been at in Liverpool, Michael, it's it's a renowned gym. Callum Smith fought out there, who's just beat Joshua Buatsi at the weekend, on the BTBF card. Mm-hmm. Liam Smith fights out of there, Josh Taylor. It's a proper boxing gym, do you know what I mean? So, I've had a lot of sparring down there, and the community's small in the fighting world. So, when the fight got made, I think Tommy was sort of thinking, I'm just still another MMA fighter, this, that, the other. And I think just a few rumours got back to him and his team that, listen, Darren's not he's proper real deal. He's knocking out a few sparring partners here, there, never. And then, obviously, when it turns up to the presser, his dad's always sort of intimidated everyone, has he, Michael? And you know me, Mike. You know what we're like from Liverpool, mate. You can't really. I'm not going to go around saying I'm the hardest guy in the world or I'm this and that. But there's one thing that's for certain, mate. No one's going to bully me. I'm not going to sit down to no one. I'll sit down to my coach, but I won't sit down to anyone else, and that's it. So I piped up a bit, and then John was chatting this and that, and he was like, whatever.
Proper fighting man, though. John Fury. He's a proper fighting man, Darren.
Well, let me tell you something as well, Michael, and I've seen this. It's entourages, so I've never seen you with an entourage, Michael, yeah?
I've got no mates.
It doesn't matter if you've got mates or not, but I've never seen you with an entourage. Yeah. So here's what I'll say to you, right? So, Nate Diaz, he's a game guy. I'm a fan of Nate Diaz, but I always see him with 20 people, 30 people. Yeah. I see Khabib, 30, 40 people, wherever they go. Sam, whatever. What's that about? What's that about? you're always with people. You're scared someone's going to... I'm not asked if John Fury's there with Tommy and 3 or 4 guys. I know, yes, Andrew's going to smash me. I'll fucking still have it with you. But guess what? After that, it's on, mate. So it's like, for me, I'm not that way with all this fake, entourage. It doesn't matter if I made billions, millions or nothing. I turned up to the press conference with my friend and my coach. It was on. And if it wasn't, it wasn't. I'm not like, do you know what I mean? It's just like all this fake entourage, walking in with security. Like, even my girlfriend said to me the other month, she was like, maybe when you go out, you need a bit of security. I don't need security for what? For what? What do I need security for?
Yeah, it does get a little ridiculous, right? You do see these guys, especially at the fighter hotels and at all these press conferences, walking around with and it's like, it seems like as soon as guys make a little bit of coin, they think that that's what they need to do. And I'm with you, man. I hate it. I hate seeing that shit. If you're a hard ass and you're a fighter yourself, you don't need more than just your coach to show up and pull off that kind of shit. Do you think he ever really wanted to do it, Darren? Do you think he wanted to fight you? Do you think there was did he really think you were going to kick him in the head, or was it because?
I think the small communities, because like a lot of people he knows will come to our gym and whatever. I think he heard how I am in the gym and stuff like that. And, Michael knows the gym I grew up in MMA. I spar hard, and my boxing's come on tremendously. And like, I just think he heard, like, look, listen, Darren's not like taking this as like the circus.
Yeah.
Like, I think he took the fight when he heard, like, Darren's out of camp, get him now, you'll get him in 8 weeks and stuff like that. I got straight in the gym, and then, like, one sparring session we had, one of the guys got knocked out, and I just think something got back to him, and I just think that head kick gave him away, because, like, his dad and him were, like, threatening KSI, like, we'll elbow you and stuff like that, and for me, I just think the excuse was so pure. Like, it was a poor excuse. It wasn't like an injury. Like, we all get injured. Like, it was just a poor excuse.
He thought he was getting a kind of Jake Paul situation where he fights an MMA fighter that's over the hill, that can't really box. Tyron Woodley had one right hand. Nate Diaz is half Jake Paul size and never exactly a knockout guy. And then you're right. The northwest of England is a small place, mate. And certainly when you start talking about boxing circles, and you're a proper striker. You're right. He heard that. I said, hold on a minute, shit. I better readdress this one. Hold on. He said he's going to kick me in the head. All right. Well, never mind that. What else is going on, Darren? I'm very disappointed. I thought you were going to be in your car getting chased by the busies.
I'm a grown-up man now, Michael.
Fuck off. Fuck off.
Michael, when have you heard me in trouble lately? Never. I'm quiet now. I'm not on social media. I'm a quiet man now, mate. I'm very chilled.
But this is unusual, because I did say to my wife, we finished at the gym, I wanted to do a quick Instagram post to promote the episode. As in, she was typing it for me as I was driving back because I was rushing, and then I got in, my computer broke, so I'm on my laptop, so I look like shit. But I'm like, tag Paul, tag the other guest. I said, tag Darren. I said, just put at Darren. I said, I don't know what's going to come up. He's had about 100 accounts. I said, and he keeps getting banned. And she's like, Darren Till 2.0. I'm like, yeah, he's had that one for ages. You haven't been banned in a while, Darren.
No, I got it back. I had to pay. I just got banned. Michael, do you know what it is? Like, I kept getting banned so much, and I don't know if, like, you won't agree with this, obviously. But for me, mate, I just got to a point with, like, the whole media. So, like, I'm just done with all that social media, but it just doesn't interest me, Michael. Like, I really, on a level, I really just want to fight and make a lot of money, and just, I really do want to get back to UFC, because I know what my potential still is. I'm still fucking, like, I feel so fresh and young as well. Like, I wish you could see me in the gym outperform, but I've got to an angle where it's just like, mate, like, they took my Instagram last year, and I was just like, oh yeah, it's sound. And I still use my Twitter, for my businesses and stuff like that, obviously for after fighting. But mate, I'm not too bothered if I have social media. It's not a big thing in my life. It's just not one of them things. I don't need to broadcast what's going on. I don't need to tell people how I'm eating, how I'm training. I know what I'm doing, and the people around me. I've disassociated myself so much with, like, out there things. It's crazy. I really have. You can't even get hold of me. I'm just like, I know.
Darren, can I ask about the UFC stuff? Right, obviously you got this boxing match coming up, and you got to handle that. But what is there's a lot of things that go on to getting back into an organization and fighting. But is it you that wants to get back to training and get in? Is it them? Have you talked to the UFC? Is there any interest on both sides of trying to get you back into the pool and into competition with us?
I just made a promise to Hunter and Dana. I said, just give me 2 to 3 years just to get my shit sorted and that.
Okay.
And I'll come back. And from what I'm seeing on the outside, I'm quite a calculated guy. Just listen, the UFC's crying out for superstars right now. There's no stars in the UFC. They've gone and been and done. And the level, especially at my weight division, like I'm bigger and stronger now. You know, like when I did move up to the middleweight division, I still had me sort of welterweight frame. I feel like I've grew into that middleweight frame now, and I just look. No disrespect, like I just don't. If I come up against Rikas and Sean, these guys, I just really think I'd do a number on them. I really do, and I know I've still got it in me to do it. And it'd be some story, it'd be like the Michael Bisping stories, you know what I mean?
Well, it'd be almost as good as that.
Be better than that. Come on. What are you on about?
Darren, not trying to blow smoke up your ass, but when you came to the UFC, you're right, you were an instant superstar. Everyone loved the personality, loved the way you talk, obviously loved the way you fought. Because everywhere I went, you know, people would talk to me about you all the time. And obviously, you fought Tyrone for the belt, didn't go your way, and then, you know, won some, lost a few, whatever. Yeah. How old are you now?
I'm 32 now, Michael.
30, so you're still a young guy, man.
I main evented in Liverpool, Michael, when I was 25. Like my journey was a little bit different. I think my journey was a little bit like yours, Michael, in the sense that I was actually talking about this the other day. You know, I didn't go to the amateurs. I just, like, obviously when I got stabbed, Michael, you know, when I was 18, 19, you know, I nearly died, and that's when obviously I went off to Brazil, blah, blah, whatever. The whole story, and everyone knows. It's just like, I got through in at the deep end, rose very quick, fell, and I fell very quick. And as I say to you, even I was talking about, you know, the social media stuff, I've just really, really grown. I just know what is and what isn't. And it's like, you know, even in terms like people come to you, oh, sponsorship, business, this is that. And I'm just like, yeah, that's all great and well. You're not my friend. You want to do a business? Okay, we're not friends. Business is business. Fight. Like people, you know, people ask me, what's Dana like? And I say, what do you mean? Well, is he a mate? I say, no, he's not my mate. He's a businessman. So I don't take anything Dana says to heart. He's a businessman. He's a nice guy. I've had dinner with him. Hi, bye, whatever. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, people get the wrong end of the stick in this whole thing, and it's like, it pisses me off. Like it's not that type of party. It's just like, I'm in this, mate, to just do what I'm doing. And if you make a few friends along the way and a bit of money, it's fucking sound, you know what I mean? But that's the be all and end all of it all.
It is, and it's so refreshing because I'm here doing it for the fans and everything. No, you're not.
No, you're not. You're not doing it for the fans, and you're not doing it. People, I'm doing it for my mother. You're not, mate. Like, stop being such a fake fucking cunt. Like, do it for the, you know, one fight for your dying brother, whatever, something like. But like, at the end of the day, we're all just selfish in this game, and it's like I think ultimately, you know, Michael, after fighting, what you've done is clever, and I'm trying to do. You've got to look past it, because this game will chew you up and eat you out. These promoters, these people, they really don't care about you. The coaches, none of them care about you. They don't. They care about the kids.
It's not even about promoters. It's just the sport. It's fighting. That's what it is. Yeah, you come along, you do well. You can dominate, you can be a champion, you can be whatever the fuck you want. Eventually, you're going to be damaged or used goods and just kicked out the other side. And it doesn't matter if the promoters, the bloody, the Pope, the nicest guy on the planet, Mother Teresa or Saint whatever, it doesn't matter. The sport is still going to chew you up and spit you out and not give a about you.
Even now, people come and say, oh, I love you before. I'm like, do these people still remember me from this? How? Because I don't care. I don't care. I really just don't care. I wear a cap so people don't recognize me. Like I'm just someone asked about being known, whatever. But like this sport, mate, and you get in and get out. If you make a few friends that are there for you, then sound. But if they're not there for you, don't get so hung up on it. Like, oh, I thought he was my friend. No, mate, he wanted a few quid out of you. Like, are you stupid? Are you thick? You know what I mean? I've learned that.
Yeah, it's
deep
you got to
talks.
realize that. What's that?
It's deep talks, isn't it? You know, everyone
Yeah,
comes in,
well,
it's always the same narrative when everyone comes, yeah, I'm gonna fuck that guy. I hate that guy. I hate his family. Why, mate? You know, shut up.
Yeah. If you do make it back, Darren, with this new kind of, maturity and realizing the game itself, how quickly do you think you can make noise again and be putting yourself into positions where, listen, they might be trying to get something out of you, but now you seem to know how to get it right back, right? And make sure that you are also getting what you want out of the situation.
Yeah, I think give me a year back on the MMA shit. I've been doing little bits and bobs. I do think I could make a quick thing in there. I've always got that experience. Obviously when you look at guys like the top of the top, these great wrestlers, you'd have to do a hell of a lot of work to be able to stop them cunts coming at you. But in my division there, I still think I could make waves. I'm 32. I've got no marks on me apart from that from the other day. But
I was going to say, you've got a black eye. That's why you're wearing a cap. Not because you want to be all incognito and inconspicuous. And, I'm a man of the people. I don't want to be recognized. No, you're a pussy. You got banged in sparring and you were trying to play it down.
I got caught. It's mad, Michael, in boxing now, mate. It's so like it's all head guards and stuff like that. I can't get used to it, so I still wear no head guard. But it's because in MMA we're just a bit more rougher and tougher, aren't we? Like the way we spar. But yeah, I got caught. Look,
hey. I like what you said about social media, and I'm a little bit jealous because I'm kind of trapped into the point where I can't delete it and stuff like that. But I would honestly, I'm looking forward to a time where I can just go, you know what, just get rid of it all and just live life in the present moment.
When's enough though, Michael? Like it's like Pablo Escobar, when was enough was enough? When did you make so much money, Pablo, that you get out the game? So, we all say it. Like, for me, it just happened. Like, it's just whatever. But, like, when you don't have it, like, I didn't have it for a long time. It was like, well, who am I putting my training videos up for? Yet the fans shan't, but they can go on. Like, I think we just get a bit swallowed up into it, and then we sort of start getting swallowed up into other people's lives, and it becomes a bit of a thing where, like, for the past 2 years, Michael, especially outside the UFC, I've just been looking after me and looking after my peers and getting shit right around me, and it's quite refreshing. That's social media bollocks, man. It's just all smoke and mirrors, to be honest with you, mate.
Well, you look good. Sorry, Paul, go on.
No. I was just going to ask, how much do you follow it still, Darren, and the guys that are from the area and some of the other Liverpool guys? I don't know the relationship that you have with anybody, so I preface it with that. But have you been watching Paddy's journey and seeing where Tom and the guys are, and what are your thoughts on that whole situation?
I was Tom's training partner for a long time. Me and Tom came up together, and Tom's like, for me now, I see him as the heavyweight world champion. But I think Tom's I think he's going to live on forever. With Paddy, me and Paddy have never been friends, but we've never really seen each other either. But we're in the Liverpool community. But I think Paddy's on his way to do what I done. I think he's probably being managed a bit better than I was, and his direction. But yeah, like with this fight coming up now, I think Paddy's got the potential to obviously be a super. He's already a superstar, but he can potentially get close to that belt. I know it's a tough fight when you get the champion, but yeah, I do keep track on everyone. But obviously, my eyes are more gauged towards the boxing, but I still keep tabs on everyone. Do you know what I mean? And to be honest with you, there's a friend who trains in our boxing gym, and he says, look, listen, all the lads down at the gym where Paddy trains, they want you to come down to and get back into it. So that could be a future thing, me and Paddy getting back in, back on the scene, give and take.
Well, Darren, now that I have a line of communication with you, and now that you randomly sometimes respond to my messages, sometimes, I'm going to hit you up and we're going to have an in-depth sit down, me and you, and we're going to get deep. We're going to go through it all. I'm going to make you cry. We're going to delve. But are you not going to address one of the greatest combat sports athletes that the world has ever seen, the one and only king of cringe, Henry Cejudo? Say hi.
Henry. You okay, mate? How are you, Henry?
YOLO, am I on?
You're on, brother. You are on. We're just about to say bye to Darren Till. Darren, you're the man. Thanks for your time. I will reach out though, buddy.
I appreciate that. Have
Thanks,
a good
Darren.
one, guys.
And
See you
mate, if you
later.
ever want to chat, Darren, you know that we're brothers. I'll talk to you
Michael,
soon.
I don't want to chat. Don't message me no more.
I'm messaging you, dickhead. See you, buddy. Thanks, Darren. Ta-ra, mate. Stick Henry
What's
in
up?
the middle, please. Henry, I apologize. My computer shit the bed right before we started, so I look like Casper the Friendly Ghost, but I'm here. We're doing a show. Right, Henry. I mean, where do we begin? Right, I'm going to give you, I'll let you take the floor. I'm sure you've seen, there's all kinds of narratives and stuff like that. There's a lot of people saying that you were quitting and looking for a way out, etc., etc. We saw the video that you posted yesterday that I looked a really bad mess. We've had a few fighters on. We've all asked them. Said, if you get a bad EyePoke, you can't continue. Take it away, Henry.
Yeah, and you know what, dude? Honestly, Bisping, I can be one of those guys. So I understand it. I watched the fight yesterday, and I can see why or where people would say something like that. Because, man, I'm going to tell you, man, I'm guilty of it. Oh, he's a pussy. Oh, he needs to man up. The whole nine. But I think is the angle where he caught me is where it really went. If you could notice right now, dude, like this is days later, man. Like I'm still, the fact that I could open my eye, Bisping, is one thing. I think the thing that really kind of threw me off was the fact that I was seeing double. So then when Son came at me at that time, just like, man, what the fuck am I gonna do? Just aim for the middle? You know what I'm saying? And then they were telling, no, and then so that happened, and I can see where people kind of took it that way because I'm smiling, but I'm thinking as a competitor, dude, I've wrestled my whole life. I get hit in the balls, eyes, whatever. Just give me time to kind of come back. So when I was on the cage, I was like, dude, you guys, I'm gonna fight, dude. Just give me some time. Like, give me some time for this eyesight to come back. And I did not think it was gonna get this long, Bisping, and apparently it did, man. Even till now, like I'm still seeing blurry. We went to the ophthalmologist today, and she said, you are lucky that he happened to get you on the white part of your eye, because if he would have hit you in the inside, he's like, Henry, you would have been blind. And if there's anybody who understands this game, Bisping, is you, man. And I think the reason why I even wanted to do this interview too with you is just because I feel like you should be an advocate for this shit. you know, of having replays, and because the referees do sometimes is there's a lot of people that, like they get gun shy, whatever that may be. It's like they just don't know, and I get it. Or even the doctor that came in, he never really tested me, Bisping. When he asked me, he's like, hey, I don't even know what he asked me. He's like, dude, I'm seeing 4 eyes. I see 2 of you right now. And the dude's just like, and the doctor, again, he doesn't want to stop the fire. He doesn't want to do anything. But when he asked me, he was like, I see double. I see 2. Like, you know what I'm saying? I can clearly open my eye, but I see 2. And
it's a really tricky one, because at that moment in time, I know from the fighter's perspective, from your perspective, from 99 times out of 100, we want the fight to carry on, right? But if the doctor and the referee, as good as Jason Herzog is, had done their job a little bit better, the third round wouldn't have continued, and it wouldn't have gone to the judges' scorecards. And if it did go to the judges' scorecards and a point was deducted when it should have been, it would have at least been a draw. Now, as you say, the EyePoke, I mean, seeing double, I remember when I was seeing double, and the only way eventually the double went away was because my eye stopped working. Don't worry, you're not going to have that. I had a detached retina, then it redetached, and I got glaucoma. But there's no question, Henry. I mean, we were talking on the show and we were being honest, and and you can watch the show back. I thought you were being a veteran, taking the 5 minutes, and rightly so. Why wouldn't you do that? That's a perk. But then when the fight started and you weren't actually throwing, I'm like, hold on a minute. Something's
up. Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think Paul even said it good, because I watched it yesterday. He's like, all right, man, this is what Henry's doing. And of course, man, to me, I'm a better competitor than I'm a fighter. I figured, all right, man, that's why I asked the doctor, how much time do I have left on the round? Like, I'm literally saying to calculate, all right, man, I'm gonna be on rollerblades here for a minute. I'm just gonna skate my way through the round, give him the round, and then come back. But then one song, the last thing you want to do with an explosive fighter, with song is give him time. So even the times that he did hit me in the balls a couple times, I'm like, keep it going, dude. Like he hit me, but I can suck it up. You know what I'm saying? Because the last thing I want to do is give this dude a break. A guy just will load and punch like a maniac. So when I did go back, I had already calculated. All right, man. That's why I kept seeing this. And if anybody knows Bisping, is you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the rallying of the eye, and I decided to go back. All right, minute and 16 seconds. I didn't get hit. I'm just like, my vision isn't coming back. So then I wasn't gonna play the guessing game.
Yeah.
And I just wasn't, man, because it's like I don't, even now that I see you guys, like it's blurry, like there's like I got the screen here and then there's another screen like this.
It's that's insane, and you can't fight like that. And I guess I just asked my wife to turn a light on because I was getting shadows on me, but I look like shit. I apologize. Because we want to continue. So you went out, you had that final minute, and then was it like, hold on a minute, this is stupid. I can't continue. I want to, but I'm seeing double. So that's why you were adamant, like, get the doctor, never mind this shit. I'm hurt. I'm seeing multiple versions of Song Yudong. This is over, right?
Yeah, no, exactly, dude. So I think once I tried that minute and 16 and he was coming at me, he was pretty aggressive too. I don't think he really caught anything. But then again, he came back and started fighting like this.
Bro, hold on.
I'm like, what the?
Can we talk about that, Henry? Because one of the things that frustrated us, especially on the commentary side, is, okay, the point didn't get taken. Probably should have, right? A really bad eye poke. There would have been another foul. And we're kind of all getting to the point where, like, this shit has to stop, right? Something has to be put in place to stop guys from sticking their fingers out. But then to get the eye poke that you had, and to then have your opponent come out with a straight hand, fingers facing you, were you like, why don't we just stop it right there and take the point now at least? Because then it's like you didn't listen to anything that was warned to you. If you're warning the fighter, hey, watch the eye pokes, the last thing you expect him to do is come out and literally point. That's where I got really frustrated for you. Was like, man, like, that's bullshit. You can't do that anyway. And to come out and do it after he poked you was kind of, I don't want to say he did it on purpose. It was a little shady.
No, that's exactly what it is. Shady, man. That's exactly what it is. I think Jim Miller did a good little commentate on this. It has shit to do with the gloves. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's just keep your hands in. Your hand. And then the other thing too, guys, I'm curious if you guys can, Bisping, Paul, I would love for you guys to bring in Jason Herzog, because back in the meeting, like in the back, they always say you cannot extend your fingers or I'm going to take a point. It's like, I'm like, man, like there should not be a warning. It's like basketball, dude. If you're playing basketball and you foul, you didn't intend to, and then you made the shot, well, guess what? It's still a technical foul. Like, why don't we have that in fighting? And the reality is, Bisping, like, honestly, dude, like, I think because of your situation, and man, I feel for you, bro. Like, and it meant a lot for me that the fact that you came out in the back and just to kind of check. I was like, dude, like, you don't think things like this could happen to somebody until it does. Yeah. And I feel like for you, Michael, I think I would because of your situation, dude, I would love to help regulate these rules to where, dude, no more warnings, man. Like, and particularly with the eyes, like replays, allow these refs to take their time and be like, all right, dude, that's 1 point. I mean, there's always going to be warnings, but when does that stuff, like, when does it stop, dude? Yeah.
So I was talking to Mark Goddard about just this kind of thing recently. And one thing he suggested, because I say fingers out like that, of course, don't allow it. You can make a fist. You can open it to parry a jab. a fraction of a second. So don't give me this bullshit. Make a fist. And it ain't the gloves. Jim Miller did a video that you were talking about saying, look, the fingers are not restricted. The gloves go up to a little bit on the forward knuckle, right? So it's not the gloves at all. It's a conscious decision. And going back, and I'm not trying to rip on Song, but what Song was doing, when the hands are out like that, I remember when I was wrestling, because obviously wrestling is a little bit more alien to me than what it obviously is for you, Henry. But when people had the fingers out like that, I was like, how can I shoot in? I'm going to get poked in the eye. Yeah. And you've just had a double eye poke. You can't see. You're an Olympic gold medalist wrestler, and he's doing that at you. I couldn't believe it. I think there needs to be a rule where a fist needs to be made. If there is an accidental eye poke, it's half a point deducted straight away. And then if it happens again, then you lose a point. But at least there is definitely some consequence irrevocably. What do you think about that?
Yeah, no, I 100% agreed. I think my vision of, no pun intended, but my vision of MMA now, it changes a little bit because it's dangerous. The concussions, like, of course, all that stuff, the broken nose, the broken hand, my labrum, because I've broken all that, and I've competed like that, and Dana knows that. But the eyesight, dude, with one stupid ass little mistake, and that's, I mean, I can only put myself in your shoes, Michael. Yeah. Like these last couple days, I'm just like, I can't play with my kids. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I signed a document today where I completely missed the black line. Like it's very unfortunate. But I also feel like Jason Herzog does need to be held accountable for something like this. If you're a veteran of the game, dude, and you know and you understand the game, and then the dude started the round like that again, dude. As Paul just said. That should automatically be a point deduction. But luckily, when he did come and we're actually fighting, I really couldn't see what he was doing. I was just running and survive running. All right, keep my hands up. Let me see what happens. Let me see if I can get some more time to let my eyesight come back.
So let me first of all say, Henry, you're gonna be okay. I mean, you've been seen by an ophthalmologist, so I've been there. It'll take a few days, and hopefully you'll make a full recovery. I loved that Song said to run it back. I know that you said that as well. I know that Dana didn't really feel like he didn't really show too much excitement for that. Where are you now? Because this is a really disappointing scenario for you, regardless of the eye poke. Just you come back, you want to make one last run. You have this situation. I mean, what's going through your mind now?
Yeah, no, I honestly, Bisping, at this point, dude, and this is just coming out of me. And I talked to my wife about it today. I was like, listen, man, I just want one last fight. Like, I want to leave this sport unscathed at this point. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, dude, I don't want to be in the situation where I lose an eye or something crazy happens. Would I love to run it back with Song 100%? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is why we had even predicted, like, dude, this dude starts slowing down as the rounds go later. The last thing we want to do is give this guy a 5-minute break, dude. I didn't need it. I really didn't, dude, but I had to take it because dude, I'm not fighting with the glitch eye, which I did, but I would love to run it back with him. But if I can run it back with him, I know Jan said that May is open. I'd love that fight with Peter Yan. You know what I'm saying? We can scrap it out. If my eye is going to get better, I'll be ready by May. The Song's already had a shot at Peter Yan. Give me Peter Yan, dude. Like, I want the toughest and the greatest matches so I can get back to the title. But again, dude, like, and that could just be my last fight. Like, I just want to fight one last time, whether I win, lose, or draw, dude. I just want to be able to finish a fight. And then to get back to Dana's, like, man, it's a bit disappointing. But I could also see Dana's side, dude, because again, I could open my eye, I could see you guys, but I could just see two. You know what I'm saying? And I wish sometimes that Dana would just, put away his promoter hat and be a fighter. And that's the beauty of being a fighter, is we know what we've gone through. Dana White, I love you, man, but you have never fought before. I don't even know if you've ever been poked in the eye. But whatever, man, when something like that seriously happens to you, then you'll see it a little bit different. And again, Bisping, I want to apologize to everybody that's ever been EyePoke or kicked in the balls that I have judged, because you just never know, man. And I think, and then sometimes you got to eat your own humble pie. And I'm here to say, dude, I got God. I'm sorry, guys, because I do talk a lot of shit, and I did not want a way out. But if we do it right, let's run it back, and let's run it back with song, and let's run it back ASAP, dude. I'll be ready in the next couple of months. I just got to let this thing heal, and I think we'll be good. But if I don't get song, I would love to fight. I would love a fight against Peter Yan.
Well, just on the eye thing, you know, obviously I've got a lot of experience. I had about 5 surgeries on the eye, lost the vision in it completely, kept it quiet, told a lot of lies, was able to still fight for God knows how many years. And I was always like, well, lightning struck. You know, like people don't really lose eyes in fighting. You know what I mean? You hear about it sometimes. I'm like, well, lightning's already struck. Lightning isn't going to strike twice, because everyone was like, what are you doing? You're going to go blind? You're going to go blind if anything happens to your good eye. I'm like, yeah, well, the lightning isn't going to strike twice. So I continued. And then, of course, I started having issues with my good eye.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that's why I was tired. I was like, fuck this, I'm done. I'm done. I started having all the same shit that you're going through. I started having it on my good eye. I was like, oh, fuck. And then, you know, somebody said to me, do you not want to see your kids grow up? Do you don't want to see what they look like when they're older? Yeah. You know, and all that type of stuff. You start thinking about being blind. You know, I remember when I fought Dan Henderson the second time, and he fractured the orbital on the good eye, and it swelled up so much it went blind. And my coach, I couldn't see, and I was wandering around out the shower naked after the fight. And he's like, I'm walking into the walls, and he's helping me get dressed and stuff because I literally couldn't see. Yeah. Anyway.
Definitely the things that people that aren't involved in the sport definitely don't ever really get to see the behind the scenes and the repercussions of what goes on in there. I broke this orbital a bunch of times, and Dan Hooker broke it really bad in that fight. And for that round, Henry, I had the same thing. He was just split into multiples. And same thing, you got a dangerous striker in front of him, and you're thinking, oh, me, man. But luckily, when I went back to the corner and they put the end swell, and whatever must have gotten like jammed up in there, it kind of settled back down, and I could see again, which is why I was able to continue. But otherwise, I couldn't imagine if I had to do, because it was the first round, I would have had 4 more rounds where I literally was seeing multiple opponents. So I know I know how bad that is to be in there and think, okay, literally you see multiple of them. You're like, I don't even know which is the real one.
Yeah, no, for sure. But honestly, dude, I think you know what would be good, man, is for you guys to get Jason Herzog on the deal, and then maybe even a doctor, maybe even that doctor. And I think the biggest thing, business, what we can take out of this is like, how can us as fighters create? And again, dude, it's not like the song's a sweetheart, bro. Like, you know, you do a face off and you see somebody's beautiful eyes. Like, I can tell you, like he's, you know, I can tell he's a sweetheart, dude. Like, there's a pureness to him. You know what I'm saying? That I was able to see. So it's not like, you know what I'm saying? It's not like he necessarily did it intentional, but still, he was still having his fingers out there. Yeah. And I feel like, how is it that we as fighters can make these rules a little bit better to where maybe we create a board to where maybe some of this stuff could really kind of take place, where replays, where you know, like take some shit from basketball, dude.
They have
travel, it's a foul, dude.
They have what they call the review official. So they have instant replay only for the review official, which is basically one of the referees. That
where the was he at?
No, I know. And they've got to watch it. That's why sometimes when they stop it and the referee is liaising with someone, that's the review official. And they'll ask their opinion, say, well, what do you think? And they'll say, oh, no, it was fine. It didn't. Like there was a groin shot on Saturday night that just kind of went off the side. Went to the review official. And they went, no, it was fine. It wasn't a ball shot.
I think the problem is that's there. And I think I know what you're saying, Henry, that since it is there and since we do have it, if once it's determined that, it was an egregious foul and it really did impact the fight, this is where the next rule needs to come in, where it's like, okay, then that's it. We take it away. We take the point away. The warning is in the back. He met with you. He met with Song. Here's how it's going to go. If I see the fingers extended, if I see an eye poke, there should be a point.
What was the warning?
That's the only way moving forward.
What was the warning, Henry?
No, the warning. What Paul's saying is 100% correct. The warning is when they go when Jason goes to the back and says,
but when he came to you in the locker room, they address certain things. That's what Paul's talking about.
Yeah.
What was the verbiage that he used when he was telling you about EyePokes?
Yeah, he says, "Listen, your hands cannot be out in front, or I'm gonna take a point." And I'm so like, all right, like I don't do that shit. Like my hands are always up. I'm always, my hands are always to my side or try to be. And it's just that they talk a lot of shit and they don't do anything, dude. And that's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Like that's all I gotta say, dude. So I'm sure Jason's a great guy too, but it's shitty on his part that they say all this, and by the time the fight goes down and something goes down, oh, take your time. Oh, you're fine. Like, man, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? There goes my eye, and for that reason, I lost. You know what I'm saying? So now this dude. So for me, trying to be a warrior and then trying to come back and do all this, and now I lost to a guy that has 8 losses.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And I'm supposed to be the triple C, Bisping.
No, I totally get it, because you were trying to be a warrior. You were trying to tough it out. You did try and fight again. By the way, if he had a point deducted, it would have been a draw. There should have been a point deducted. Herzog is a great guy. He is a very conscientious referee, but they have got to be more. They've got to make the calls quicker, and they've got to be more. They've got to punish people for fouling straight away. And they will send the message. It'll get through pretty quick. And EyePokes will be almost a thing of the past. Now,
they'll stop.
They will.
But what I am surprised, what you did mention, Bisping, is something that I did not know. I had no idea they had another referee, like kind of reviewing that. That kind of pisses me off. That kind of pisses me off. That's just stupid. Then that's just not cool, man.
It's just a shame for you, Henry. I mean, obviously the loss, and given what happened, and of course that you have had, it's not an overstatement that you're one of the greatest combat sports athletes to ever live. Olympic gold medalist, 2-weight division champion. People, when that's things, they're titles, Paul, aren't they? That people can only dream of. Yeah. And then you come back
for only wet dream over.
And then this happens. So you're going to come back and go again?
Yeah, I think it depends, man. I think I want to do, if we get Jan, I would love to get Peter Jan. If we don't run it back with Song, I would love to get Jan, but I don't know where the UFC, they're probably pissed at me. Like Dana probably thinks I bitched out, and so does Hunter. Like they probably all think I bitched out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like this is what I'm thinking in my mind, where I'm just like, dude, I got a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old. It's kind of like what you're saying, Bisping. Like, I mean, I'll be happy to have one eye and raise them, but shit, it's better to have 2 than 1. So I don't know where I stand with the UFC on that sense, because I was the main event, and I do my best to promote fights, man. Like I put myself out there, I do the whole 9. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm doing all these theatrics. I put that pressure on myself to do all that, and it's just unfortunate that this had to happen this way, and that's just not me. But at the end of the day, Paul, and Bisping, like I'm at peace, dude, because I know who I am. I know what I've done. I just hope that the UFC could give me, we could run it back with Song or Jan. But I think, I'm thinking about this. I think I want to leave the sport unscathed, and I would like to just fight one more time, bro. And I'm out, dude. Like that's it. I'm out.
Dude, I hope that things get worked out. And I mean, for me, I don't care if it's Song or Jan. I'd like to see you get back in there and compete and go through the whole fight and be able to put your best out there and not have to be out there fighting with double vision, triple vision and shit like that. So I'm glad you came on, man. And I'm glad we got to talk and see your side, because I feel like there's a lot of people that are too quick to judge because they don't know the situation. They don't know how bad it is. So to have you come on and kind of explain it.
And if I could say something too, Paul, I was very calm when it happened, because I figured, all right, man, I got poked. I can open my eye. Like I'm calm. Like it's going to come back, or I could. And my wife was like, hey, you probably should have acted. You probably should have been a little more dramatic. So people would be like, oh shit, like roll, like be a Neymar. Like in soccer, start rolling like a.
Or you could have done the Jean-Claude Van Damme in Bloodsport.
Yeah. I could have.
That would have been epic.
That would have been so Henry Cejudo if you did that.
I'm a hell of an actor too. Dude. I just did a movie with Vinny Chase and Adrian Grenier in Texas here, so they like my acting skills, but I just felt like
we got 3 actors right here. We got to get our own thing going on here, man. Exactly. Come on, that would be epic.
MMA spoof thing. Yeah, we're all good actors. We'll come up with a little script like in a gym, like I don't know. We could do that. Come up with a little thing. We know enough guys that could film it for us and whatnot. I know some directors. Oh, come on, we're doing it. We're doing it.
No, but for sure. But since what do you think, Bisbee? Before we take off here,
yep,
I'm very curious about you, who has been in that situation, who has literally, man, you lost an eye because of this.
Yeah,
like can you would there? Oh shit!
Yeah, there you go.
You and you're a magician now, huh?
Yeah, well,
there it is.
A man of many talents.
It hasn't been out in a while.
Yeah, but I'm curious to see if there's something where you can have of a say or an influence with the UFC to say, hey man, this is how you should treat it, man, as a fighter, because the majority of the judges and referees, they have never fought, they have never laced the gloves before. You know what I'm saying? So we need somebody that could be an advocate there, that has been through that storm.
If there was any kind of movement that you wanted to start, I'm certainly not against being a part of that. But all of those decisions, it all goes down to the athletic commissions. It's not the UFC. And it's the athletic commission that govern the rules, that put the referees in place, that choose the judges. It's all down to the athletic commissions. I don't have a dialogue with those guys. As I say, if you wanted to start something, I'm not against being a part of that 100%, Henry, because I have been through it. So I would help you for sure. But as I say, people think it's the UFC. They're just the sport. They're the promoter. It's the athletic commission, state by state. So it's going to be really hard getting any kind of rules changed. I think a rule should be implemented that we have to have a closed fist. Simple as that. And then you can open to catch and grab and grapple, or at least like that. What's so hard about doing that as opposed to that? I don't get it.
Yeah.
Well, Henry, you're going to be okay. I am sorry that went down like that, because a guy of your caliber doesn't deserve that. Thanks for coming on today, because I thought we got to hear your side, because you know what everyone's going to be saying. You know what everyone's going to say in the comment section of this episode. If you had one message to anyone that's talking shit in the comments down below right now, what would that be?
That you guys could all bend the knee to King Triple.
There we go. That's the perfect way to end it. There it is. Henry, you little bastard. You ever talk shit about my eye in the octagon again? I'll pop your other eye. Get out of here.
Later, guys. Salute.
Thanks, Henry. You're the man, dude.
All right. Well, big thanks to all the guests today. Paul, I know you've got to get off soon. So if you have a question, please send it into bympod@gmail.com. By next week, I think I'm going to have to buy a new bloody computer. I don't know what's happened to this. The motherboard's gone, according to Brian. So next week, I'll be looking fine and dandy, although I think this works out okay. Thanks again to all the guests. If you've got a question, BYMPod, send it into that, bympod@gmail.com. Obviously, subscribe to the channel, please. Leave a comment and share it on social media. Brian, do we got any questions today?
We do. This one's from a lady. This is Imogen from the UK.
Imogen.
Hey guys, it's Imogen from the UK, and I'm a massive fan of the BYM podcast. My question is for Bisping and Felder. After you've had a fight and you're a bit worse for wear, do your wives help nurse you back to health, or do they just let you get on with it on your own? And do you have any little tricks that can help speed up recovery after a fight? Thank you. Also, Harrington, sometimes I feel sorry for all the stick that you get, and then you come onto the podcast on mute, and it quickly reminds me why you get it.
Yes. Exactly. Thank you, Imogen. We love Harrington. We do give him some shit, though, because he continues to allow it or cause it or force us to have to give him shit. We're just trying to make him better. Paul, post-recovery protocol with the missus.
Yeah, so I have definitely been picked up at the airport in a wheelchair from Christine many times and helped me with ice packs and getting ice baths going. And more importantly, just getting the family to go out and eat the shittiest, greasiest, most delicious meal after a fight before. But yeah, I mean, I have some crazy stories where the missus has had to help out in situations, and, you know, obviously broken arms and things where needing help cleaning and showering. And, you know, I remember, I got to tell this one story before we go.
Please.
Okay. This is a weight cut story. All right. So back when we could IV, I'm rehydrating, I'm IVing in a Vegas hotel. And I'm thinking, this is similar to the Jared Gordon story I told you guys before, where I'm like, all right, I'm thinking I'm hanging out with people in my room and I'm just gassy and I'm sitting there and the IV's hanging on the wall, and I go to pass some, and I wasn't passing anything other than shitting myself, basically. So she had to help carry the IV bag that was attached to my arm to the bathroom with me so that I could get into the shower and clean myself up while standing outside of the shower, literally holding the IV bag full of fluids while I was getting ready. So that's the level that me and Christine are at this point.
Fortunately, you guys had probably been together a long time.
Yeah.
Imagine like you've just got together and she's like,
oh my God, like a new girlfriend that's on a fight week trip. Like,
and
babe, hold on, I got to clean shit off myself. Can you hold this bag?
Taking a dump like the homeless person in Seattle. All over the tiles. Like, what are you doing, you blind bastard? You've missed the toilet. It's everywhere. As you were talking there, I texted Rebecca. I said, are you here? Because maybe she could explain a little better. But she's down at Ralph's. But I just used to milk it. Simple as that.
Yeah.
If I was her, you know what I mean? I'm a tough guy. But when it comes down to it, I milk it. If I'm ever feeling a little unwell or whatever, again, I milk it. And Rebecca's great. She always takes care of me. But I don't know, usual shit. Just lie on the couch, scratch my balls, and let Rebecca do everything. That's about it. If I'm honest. Paul, I know you got to duck off. So I'll let you jump off while we do the last question, or are you good for time? Harrington can join. You can jump off if you want.
It's a quick one.
All right, let's go. Let's go.
Also, let me make this point real quick. We don't have a lot of time for questions every episode. So if I haven't played your question, the best way to get me to play your question is to not tell me to go myself, but do what this guy did and go, hey, I'll send in a question every week. I don't give a shit. So this is Sam.
Nice.
Hey guys, Sam here from the UK, but living in Utah. Massive fan of the show, been watching you for years, and that's the same with both of your careers. Bisping, I remember when you won the belt, and I was living at home at the time in the UK with my parents, and I fucking screamed and shouted at like 5 or 6 a.m. in the morning, woke everybody up. Everybody was angry. I was happy as a clam. One of the best sporting moments in history for me personally, especially being a Brit. Anyway, you two are two of the most blood and guts fighters that we've ever seen inside the octagon. Absolutely love it. We don't really get as many blood and guts fighters nowadays, but you're basically modern day gladiators. So I want to know, what would be your weapon of choice if you were a gladiator? Sword, shield, spear, axe, some people even used a net, or would you just go in bare hands? But that's my question. Keep up the good work, and I'll always be tuning in.
First of all, I see, if I'm getting a bunch of like gladiators together and we're going to go take on another team, and let's say it was Team BYM, and Harrington chooses a net as a weapon, I'm kicking him off the team.
You're out.
Yeah. What are you doing? We're here to do damage. We're not trying to capture them.
That's a one-time use weapon. We don't need no one-time use weapons on this team.
For me, go on, Harrington.
I get 2 people in a net. Now I have 2 UFC fighters who can converge on the 2 guys in a net. The net is useful.
If you were smart, you'd be like me and just bring a gun.
No, Harrington, the gun would be a good one. Let's be honest. I think Harrington. So your plan would be to catch 2 UFC fighters and then use some kind of mind control, if it's brainwash them and just bore them into helping you.
Yeah. Well, that's how we got the Team BYM in the first place. But I'm saying, if that's the thing, it's you two guys and me. What do I need a sword for? I need the net to try to corral as many people as possible. Get you too close to him. It's over for him.
What's your throwing arm look like, Harrington?
I got a cannon, dude. I'm good.
I'm seeing it now. I'm seeing it a little bit, Harrington. I'm getting your point of view there. If
Weapon
it's
of choice,
me,
Paul.
I think I'm going at a short axe or a short broadsword, not Braveheart style broadsword, because I feel like I'm not that big of a guy. I feel like that needs to be with a Jan Błachowicz or a you kind of guy. But I feel like a short sword and a shield would be my go-to, so I can be quick and slash the shit out of people.
I got a movie coming out soon called Red Sonja, and in that I'm brandishing a big gigantic axe, just like you image there. But in my mind, what I'm seeing is a scene from a movie. In this movie, a man has escaped a rather precarious situation and he's going through a store. He looks up, he sees something, he thinks, yeah, this is good. Then he sees the next one. He's like, oh, then he sees a chainsaw, but then he sees it. What movie is it?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
It's the one that says bad.
Oh,
Pulp Fiction.
I was just going to say Pulp Fiction and I didn't jump on it.
The katana. The samurai sword. He gets the samurai sword and he goes in, kills him, said, "Are you okay?" I'm pretty far from okay. It's like, yeah, no shit. I've just been raped.
You've just been through that basement situation you were just in. Yes, samurai sword's good, man.
Yeah,
samurai sword's good. That's why I think a short sword and
I can use a samurai sword a little bit. You know, I used to do Japanese jiu-jitsu, so we do weapons. Samurai sword all day. Speaking of all day, we've been going all day. Paul's like, Jesus Christ, Michael, you're going to start paying me overtime. Paul, thank you for your time. Ladies and gentlemen, to all the guests, thank you for your time. We got another stack show planned for it next week. We got some big guests planned. We got lots of banter. We got lots of good time. So subscribe, ring the bell. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.